What is up? What is going on, guys? Let's see. Push the buttons. Got that button going there. We got that button going there. We got lots of buttons being pushed. All right. What is going on in YouTube land today, my friends? It's Wednesday, and as always, we got lots to talk about. Lots going on. Lots to talk about. Let's take a look at some of the stuff going on this Wednesday. I actually had, it's really funny because I actually had this news story prepped. I was like, that's the one. We're going to talk about this today. And then I saw Jesse Dollemar was talking about it. So I was like, well, just watch Jesse Dollemar talk about it. Also, I need to get a fan. I need to get a fan downstairs. What's up, Levon? What is going on? Let's see here. Let's put that there. Methed out Mike Pillow is winning the poll so far. I don't know if I want to be meeting methed out Mike Pillow in the woods, bro. Do you think if you meet Mike Pillow in the woods and he's all cracked out, do you think he shares his crack? Is he a sharer, or do you think Mike Pillow's the type of guy who hides his crack in his prison wallet and he doesn't let you know he has enough to share? Not enough to share with the class. That's my question. All right. Today of all days. So like I said, we got a couple different things. We got Republicans holding Republicans accountable for their actions with the weekly last week in the Republican Party. We got this one, which I just saw came out 2 hours ago. And, it's Adam Mockler with his sweet-ass graphics on his channel. He's just doing so well over here with all this business. Bombshell evidence links Epstein to Donald Trump. Now, we all know that Donald Trump and Epstein are connected. We all know that he claims to use the whole "we're not friends anymore" thing. So I'm interested to find out what this business is all about. Is it something new, or is it just the old stuff? This is a Jesse Dollemar right here is the one I was talking about. This is a viral racist TikTok trash uses N-word, instantly becomes a right-wing pundit. It's such a weird story, but this girl apparently used the N-word on a TikTok, and it vaulted her to fame and notoriety amongst the right, and she even, I guess, tweeted at one point, "Thank you, black people, for responding exactly how I knew you would and making me famous. I am now going to be a right-wing conservative talker, pundit, talking head." Like, this is the reality that we live in right now, is that this girl can drop an N-bomb. People are like, whoa, you shouldn't be doing that. What is wrong with you? And, like, right-wing conservatives are like, that's my dude right there. I love that person. Jesus. What up, John? What's happening, John? Let's see. Dinos, what's going on, Dinos? Mike in the chat, what's going on? All right, don't forget to turn on live chat too, guys. Don't be like me and have it in top chat, or Redunk. Redunk always has it in top chat. He misses all the good messages. We got a new Good Liars video that just came out from the Miami Trump rally as well. Trump sure has a lot of time for rallies for a guy who claims he wasn't gonna have any time for all this stuff. We got Tennessee Brando. As always, I have no effing idea. MAGA won't leave women alone, and we can't ignore it. I just know that Tennessee Brando is going to say some smart shit, so that's why we're going to watch this. We got Legia talking about the tapes. Talking about the Alito and Alito's wife's tapes. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think we should be more afraid of Alito's wife. Alito said some stuff that obviously is concerning, but Alito's wife reminds me of the women on The Handmaid's Tale that, like, joined up with the dudes. Alito's wife seems like the type of lady that is happy to torture other women. Just throwing that, allegedly. I said seems like, so that's like saying allegedly. So that one's up there. We got a new Biden ad which we probably haven't seen on the YouTube's commercials yet. We'll be waiting for that. And then this gentleman right here, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys saw this. This guy did a video where he fake goes up and talks like he's in front of Trump and talks about all the shit that he did for like 12 minutes straight. But he's saying it like he's a Trump supporter. He's like, I would never believe that you cheated on your wife with a porn star while she was at home with your 2-month-old baby. I would never believe that you covered up, your payment to that porn star as a felon, and he just goes on and on and on. He's super funny. I'll make sure to link his channel, even if we don't get to watching the video. We're going to link it right now. But he's super funny. That shit was like, it was really well done. I'm guessing he's kind of newer because I haven't seen him before, but maybe I just haven't seen all the cool people. I'm still catching up with all the cool people. I keep saying this, guys. It's one of the best things that's happened from all this craziness is finding these cool ass people that we never knew about. Straight facts, no chaser. This guy's name is the System Mechanic. I'll be honest with you guys. I wasn't a huge YouTube news guy. I wasn't a huge news guy, period, before I started doing all this stuff. I didn't know about the Brian Tyler Cohens. I didn't know about the Kyle Kalinskis, the David Packmans. I didn't know anything about any of those guys. All I really knew about was Jordan Klepper, and I thought Trump was an a-hole. And I've gotten to learn a lot about like some super fucking cool people. I even watched earlier today. I watched a Hasanabi video where he said something that I actually, like, he spoke words that I've been thinking about, but I haven't been able to quite get out. And that was, I grew up with Dave Chappelle. I like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was a great comic coming up, and I always thought he was really funny. I mean, the Chappelle Show is one of my favorite skit shows of all time. And just recently, he just seemed to be like just concentrating so hard on that one thing. And that one thing for him was transgenders. And I thought, well, he's had some jokes before that were about trans that were funny, like what's the difference? What's the difference? And Hasanabi actually said it pretty well. And I don't get to watch the other streamers very often, so I don't know a lot about their beliefs or who they like, who they don't like. Apparently, Hasanabi likes Dave Chappelle. And so he was pointing out this joke that he told, and maybe we'll watch the video instead of me just explaining it. But you could see where the joke was going at the beginning of the joke. And you knew it was going to end with, that's what makes me mad about trans people. And I was like, God damn it, that's it. And he's saying it. He's like, it's just that it's so predictable now. And he's so stuck on this subject that like, obviously he got triggered by all this shit. And he's now, and this is what I think is really bad about Trump or like far right wing comedy, is that instead of trying to make people laugh, they're trying to make people clap. And I was like, that's actually a really good fucking point. Is instead of trying to like make jokes and make people laugh, you're trying to get them on your side now. And it's like, I just wanna like laugh and have a good time. And I don't mind people making jokes about me. I don't mind people making jokes about other people, but they gotta be funny. They gotta be funny. They can't be just like, look at this, this thing that I stand. Doesn't matter if you're left or right. I once went to a Santana concert. And in the middle of a Santana concert, he put down his instruments and started preaching about fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and what he didn't like. And I was like, bro, I love you. But can we hear some Black Magic Woman, my friend? And that's not a shut up and dribble comment. I think all of these guys have the right time and place to talk about things and get their beliefs out there. That's this is America for sure. But sometimes like people, they just get too much on that shit. What's happening, Trent? What's going on? Sharon, how's it going? Speaking of people going off and ranting, I would never do that. Republicans could be getting behind these gun regulations now just because of Hunter. I was just telling a libertarian friend of mine that she had to go ahead and turn in all her guns. Because I know that her and her husband, who are friends of mine and family of mine, smoked the ganja. That's right. Republicans, if you are happy that Hunter Biden or is going to be sentenced, he has now been found guilty of these 3 felonies, and you support that he's being found guilty of these 3 felonies. And I know 95% of you motherfuckers be smoking the devil's lettuce. Okay, you better go turn in your guns. You better turn yourself in and tell them that you checked that box too. Okay? Because my good friend John there told me in the last stream that it says use, not just addicted to. And I went and I looked up that law, because that's what I do. And I looked it up, and I saw that this box apparently that you have to check for this firearm is straight up says whether or not you have ever used or are addicted to or like currently have an issue with, that you don't get to buy that gun. So if you are a right-wing, left-wing, center-wing person that smokes the devil's lettuce and you bought a firearm and you are supporting Hunter Biden being found guilty, you better go turn in your guns and stop being goddamn hypocrites, okay? Just letting you guys know right off the bat, all right? Yeah, alcoholics, anything. That is crazy. All right, let's see what we got. What up, Brad? How's it going? It is. It's super hypocritical. It's crazy to me. Like, as far as I'm concerned with the Hunter Biden thing, I mean, I look at it, I'm a big fan of background checks. I'm a big fan of red flag laws. I believe that certain people shouldn't own weapons. I am a Second Amendment person, but I am not a shall not be infringed person. Look, if you see people that aren't there, you don't get a gun. If you have an invisible friend that tells you to go shoot people, you don't get a gun. If you domestically violence your wife, you don't get a gun, because every day, what is it, 2 women a day? Is it 1 woman a day? 2 women a day are being killed by domestic violence partners that are allowed to keep their guns. Sorry, but that's where I draw the line, man. I draw the line there. If your kid takes your gun to a school and harms other people, then your ass gets held accountable too, because you should have done a better job. You want to own guns? You got to do it responsibly. There's no way to take all the guns from all the people in America. So we have what we have. We live in this time and place. There is no changing what's going on. But you got to be responsible. You got to be accountable. You got to hold yourself accountable for these things. But in looking into that law, I was like, that law is kind of stupid. Like, if you put a box on a form and tell people that they can't have any drug, they can't be addicted to anything, they can't be using anything, then nobody in America gets to have guns. Because if you motherfuckers ain't smoking weed, you're definitely drinking, and that's worse, in my opinion. A drunk person with a gun is a lot scarier than a fucking high person with a gun. That probably accidentally shoot the damn self, okay? And then let's get into the pharmaceuticals. All the old motherfuckers out there that are on 15 different pills. You got Elon Musk smoking ketamine, okay? Does Elon Musk have weapons? Because if Elon Musk has weapons, he better go turn that shit in. So the law is what it is. Hunter Biden was found guilty from those laws, and I support our justice system, but maybe that shit should be looked into. What's up, Blue and Green? What's up? You don't like my music? What's up, Jeremy? What's going on, guys? Bush Light drinking Alabamians. Alabamians. Have you heard about the new Trump Epstein? I got it up, Blue and Green. I got it right here. We're gonna watch it after I shut the fuck up. I've been talking too much. Talking too much. Oh, man. All right. So let's get to it. Let's watch some stuff. Let's get into it. We will get to that one in a second. Let's check out the last week in Republicans. Like I said, Republicans, if you're celebrating that Hunter Biden verdict and you support that law, you better turn them guns in. Turn them guns in. Because we're all on something nowadays. I'm currently on yerba mate. Just so you guys know. All right. Let's watch a little bit of Republicans holding Republicans accountable, and then we're going to get to all the good stuff. What up, Tommy?
New hoax alert. New hoax alert. New hoax alert.
What would happen if the boat sank from its weight?
Yeah, the sharks.
And you have this tremendously powerful battery, and the battery's now underwater, and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there.
I like the policies.
Man.
I like the style. I even like the tweets.
I don't pay contractors that do a shitty job, and that's a shitty job.
You remember where you were on 9/11. This is an equally as significant day.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I've done more for black people than anybody since Abraham Lincoln.
Normal, average American.
His hair, like, there should be a meme about how much worse this hair is getting, okay? And my man, look at this dude. Look at him. My man looks like he has been ran through the shredder. He looks like he was being drugged by a fucking wagon train down a rocky road and bounced his face off of multiple berms, okay? That he's looking real thick of skin, all right? Like that makeup, it's kind of like when I was a kid, when I was 16, and we'd do roofs, okay? We'd get up there on the roof, and roofers had just like put the shingle on top of the shingle, on top of the shingle, on top of the shingle. Not supposed to do that, but we'd have to tear off multiple layers. I kind of feel like he doesn't remove the makeup anymore. He just puts on layer after layer after layer. His face might be bulletproof. Donald Trump's face might be bulletproof now. Just want you guys to know that. Take that information as you will.
Normal, average American. He did great without the teleprompter.
You know what I'd do if there was a shark?
You did
or you get
great.
electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time.
Shows that Hunter Biden created, completed a crime of Congress, of lying to Congress.
Tell them to make the microphone louder.
Get them out of my country.
The other night
Oh
about
my God. Get Charlie Kirk the fuck
nuclear-
out of the country.
doesn't matter so much.
And no third, I'll tell you what,
Yes.
then I don't pay the company that does it, right? And then
Oh
I end
my
up with a
God,
story Trump
dude.
doesn't pay.
Adios. I want my culture back.
Back to our country on November 5th, 2024.
I finally found the only hero.
Dude, one of my favorite things to watch is Donald Trump standing. Donald Trump is the meme. I don't know what to do with my hands. Donald Trump has no fucking clue what he should be doing with his hands at any point. He just stands there like a fat kid, just waiting for his turn at the cake. I don't know what to. In the way he moves his body, like his whole, like he doesn't have joints in his shoulders anymore. Like he moves like Batman. Like he has to move his neck and his head at the same time and his shoulders. He stands so goddamn awkwardly.
I ever had in my life. And that's him.
What more can be said?
Oh,
than thank
Jesus,
God
this
we're here
guy.
in Sunset Park.
One of the fake
worship
electors,
and bring back the greatest
allegedly.
president we've ever known in our generation.
I worship a God.
Why do they all look weird? I'm telling you, I don't want to go conspiratorial, but I just saw that Harvard article come out about lizard people, and now I'm starting to grow concerned that I've been shitting on conspiracy theorists for all this time, and I have a feeling I'm going to be shown the light here pretty soon. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to get up here on this show and eat crow in front of everybody when one of these motherfuckers goes full V style and just rips his fucking face off and the lizard tongue comes out and he eats the mouse in front of everybody. You guys remember V, right? Don't let me be old by myself, okay? You guys remember V. I know Tommy remembers V.
God that defeated death on the cross.
Oh,
I don't
President
do
Trump
any
is a
drugs
convicted
except for
felon.
crack and MDMA.
Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon, and he was murdered on a Roman cross.
I don't care about you.
Oh, I didn't know this was a thing! Because they did that at this one, too. So chanting bullshit is that's the new MAGA thing. Chant bullshit. Dude, once again, you look at the background, they have a type. They have a type. Even the women kind of look like the men. There is a type to the Trump supporters. Lizard people, bro. Allegedly.
I just want your vote. I don't care.
Damn right, greatest TV miniseries of all time. It's such a strange time. Oh, no, I don't even have the fucking ad blocker on, you douchebag. Okay, come on. The ad blocker isn't even on, is it? No, it's fucking paused. Stop crying, YouTube. I turned it off just for you, YouTube. I turned it off just for you. Yeah, such a weird world, and they're all so strange. They're all carnival characters. They are. They're clowns. They're the freak show. They're like, these are people that cry about pride and how everything's weird and all these things and they don't understand it and all that stuff. It's like, we don't understand you either, motherfucker. Y'all ain't human. Like, you know, every once in a while you read about how Neanderthals, you know, had sex with, what is it, Homo sapiens or whatever. What is it, two? The two had sex for a small amount of time. And I saw a study the other day. I didn't read it, but it said this may have impacted us. I think this is what they're talking about. I didn't read the study, but I'm pretty sure this is what they're talking about. What's up, Jeannie? What's up, Tom? What's going on? All right, here we go. This is the one. This is bombshell evidence links Epstein to Donald Trump. I work all day. I don't get to see the news. Okay, guys? So this is new to me. I know it's been 2 hours. Been out for 2 hours, and you guys already seen like 17 videos on this already. But I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil it for me. Okay?
We just got some bombshell news linking Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, and I want to make sure you guys are all caught up. Make sure you leave a like on the video.
It's too bad Morum
this Business
just didn't
Insider
pass the
article
fuck out.
reads, the newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein documents have Donald Trump's name all over them. He has been secretly disguised as Doe 174. Over the past week, thousands of pages of court documents in a Jeffrey Epstein-linked lawsuit have been unsealed. The documents name about 170 people who have come up in a legal battle between Virginia Giuff, one of his accusers, and Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, who in 2021 was convicted of trafficking girls to him for sex. Before now, the documents had either been fully under seal or partially redacted. Each of those roughly 170 people, a mix of Epstein's wealthy friends, his victims, and other people merely mentioned.
And here we go again, guys. This is the test, right? This is the test. This is what should bring people together. Look, doesn't matter whose names are in those documents. Doesn't matter if they're left. Doesn't matter if they're right. Doesn't matter if they're apolitical. They don't care about politics. Doesn't matter if they're rich, they're poor, middle class. Doesn't matter. If there is some shit that these people did, we should be united across the realms, across the spectrums. That these motherfuckers need to go on trial just like anybody else, and if their ass did some shit, they need to go to prison. This is where America should be able to get together. I mean, us and the lizard people, when I say that. I don't know, are lizard people American? If you're born on the soil, if you're born on American soil, but you're a lizard person, are you an American citizen? I think that's an important question that we should all be asking right now, because this could be coming up real soon, okay? Like I said, Donald Trump wins the election, tears his face off, okay? And he looks like one of those dragons from Game of Thrones. I'm just saying, we're gonna have some weird questions, you know? It's gonna make the Obama birth certificate bullshit look like nothing, okay? At that point, what do we do if he is actually a gigantic schmog?
Partially redacted. Each of those roughly 170 people, a mix of Epstein's wealthy friends, his victims, and other people merely mentioned in passing, have been identified as a J. Doe in arguments over whether documents should be made public. And if you guys didn't know, names like John Doe or Jane Doe are used as placeholders for unidentified people in legal cases, or when somebody dies, they'll be referred to as a John Doe or Jane Doe, and it was no no different in this case. The article continues, Donald Trump is one of them, but until now, it wasn't clear which of the nearly 200 does, as enumerated by U.S. District Judge Loretta Preska in a 50-page list, he actually was. An exhaustive review of the documents by Business Insider points to one no longer anonymous doe who checks all the boxes, Doe 174. And I have some wild updates, but first, watch this clip of Donald Trump.
And once again, just to be completely clear, this is only verified through people doing research. But people are really good at this shit. So I'm not saying that it's not true. But to keep it 100, it's still Doe 174, because I actually heard this probably a month ago. It was before they had redacted a bunch of this stuff, but they had already started talking about that they think that they thought he was 174 because of certain things that clicked or marked, like you said, check the boxes. So we're gonna find out. But like I said, people are good at this shit.
Trump on Fox and Friends last week being asked about the unsealing of the Jeffrey Epstein files, and Donald Trump gets visibly flustered. He gets nervous, and now we know exactly why. Watch this clip.
It's Shark Week. That's what's up.
Travel insurance after booking your trip? Yes.
This is what Trump's doing right now. This is a commercial for Trump. Right now he's like, how much for a flight to Russia? Wait, if he's a lizard person though, allegedly. Once again, YouTube, these are jokes. Don't fucking ban me for conspiracy theories. They're kind of true. Do lizard people want to go to Russia? That seems like the wrong place to go. Like, if you're a lizard person, you probably want to go somewhere like the Middle East. That's what I'm thinking.
Best time to purchase insurance is right.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Oh, yeah. No, I saw this the other day.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I think that less so because, you don't know.
I like that I guess I would. Dude, once again, read people's body language. Like, I'm not saying I'm a fucking expert, but read that body language. Like, he was doing so good. He's like, JFK, hell yeah, brother. JFK, that shit's coming out. You want to know about 9/11? Fuck yeah, you're going to know all about 9/11. They're like, Jeffrey Epstein. He was like, yeah, I could do that. I could, actually, let's think about it for a second. But Trumpers don't watch any of this shit. So there's like no chance they've even seen this.
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want
Frosty,
to
I'm
affect
making
people's
you watch
lives
this
if it's
one.
phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
So that clip makes a lot more sense.
He knows a little bit of something about that whole world too, don't he? I've said this before too. Rich people do weird shit. Allegedly. Alright? There's a certain portion of your life when you have so much money that you have access to everything and you no longer struggle, and then you go full Diddy, okay? Just fucking throwing it out there. And now we got Frosty in here. Every single person should agree that whether it's Donald Trump or Kevin Spacey or Bill Clinton, sorry, none of these people are actually in the documents, allegedly. I'm just saying if they happen to be, doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, you should be fucking rooting that those motherfuckers go to court and that there is evidence against them, that they are held accountable regardless of whether or not they're your cult leader, okay? Regardless of whether or not they're your favorite comedian or sports star. Whoever the fuck they are, they need to go to court. They need to have the evidence brought to trial. Everybody gets presumed innocent, as always. But if they did that shit, doesn't matter if you like them or not, they should go to jail.
With this new information we have, this article continues, in deciding whether to make the names on the list public, Preska weighed any privacy rights the does might have against the public's right to access judicial documents. The newly unsealed documents include new excerpts of
Melania's already back in,
and other
like,
legal filings where Trump's name is now revealed. Preska's list identifies Doe 174 as a person whose, quote, association with Epstein and Maxwell has been widely reported in the media already, and his his or her name came up during Maxwell's public criminal trial.
I love too that you guys always go, well, Trump was no longer friends with Epstein, but he was 100% friends with Ghislaine up until like she went to prison, and then he was like, I wish her the best of luck. Don't you dare rat on me, Ghislaine. That's what he said, verbatim, allegedly.
The former President Trump fits that bill as someone who had a long history with the now dead pedophile and who said, quote, I wish her well when Maxwell was indicted on sex trafficking charges. And really quickly, the right is always projecting when it comes to pedophilia
Melania doesn't
and
speak
sex
any
trafficking.
languages, Frosty.
Overwhelmingly, the amount of people, the amount of public officials who
doesn't
have
matter
gotten
if you
in
can
trouble
speak
for
7
sex
languages if
trafficking
you
or
never actually
pedophilia
speak.
have been Republican officials or popes, right-wing popes that usually are conservative, that are the heads of churches. But right-wingers have tried to obfuscate and act like left-wing people, like liberals are often pedophiles, when it's irresponsible to generalize like that for both parties. But the fact that their leader, Donald Trump, now has ties to Jeffrey Epstein and they conveniently don't talk about that should tell you how much they actually care about children and how much they are virtue signaling. This article continues. Trump also came up several times during Maxwell's trial. One of his Mar-a-Lago employees testified about an Epstein victim working at Mar-a-Lago. Flight records made public on the trial showed Trump flew on Epstein's plane with his son Eric, and one victim at the trial said Epstein name-dropped Trump, apparently to demonstrate that he was connected to powerful people.
I gotta read that book, John.
The newly unsealed filings have shed more light on Epstein's connections to some of the most powerful people in the world. They detail some of his connections to former President Bill Clinton and sexual misconduct accusations against Prince Andrew, which the British royal has denied. But in her ruling, Preska said Doe 174, Donald Trump's name, came up in 9 different documents that were previously under seal or had their name redacted. As of publication time Monday night, 3 of those documents had not yet been completely unredacted, but Trump does fit into the context of those documents. The other 6 documents that had been unsealed all include Trump's name too, and no other Doe is listed as being named in all those same docket entries. It's unclear whether Trump fought to keep his identity under seal in the documents, but if we had to guess, he probably did, because Trump has fought to hide a lot of other information
Even if
about
you didn't
him.
do shit, you
That's
wouldn't
how
want
he
your
got
name involved in
34 felony counts. Remember,
Yeah,
Trump
and
has
he's really
bragged
good at
about
it.
sexually assaulting women. Trump's names were on the Epstein flight logs. Trump has repeatedly
My man
made
is his
weird
own
comments
worst
about
enemy.
his daughter. Trump has repeatedly been seen in photos with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, so it's not surprising whatsoever that these two are tied together with documents now. The victims talk.
It's only surprising to Trump supporters, and then they just like the cognitive dissonance kicks in, and it's like he never met Ghislaine. He was never friends with Epstein. He hated him the whole time. Like this is why I can't get behind you guys, because you know what? He had a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress. My ass is like, why, Bill? Did you lose a fantasy football league to him? Because that's the only reason that someone should have a hand-painted portrait of you in a dress above their mantle, as if you lost the fantasy football league, and if that's what happened, that's acceptable, okay? And fucking don't judge fantasy football players, all right? We do what we have to do, okay? And I'm also a 5-time champion, just so you guys know. 4 in a row, okay? But this is why I can't get behind you guys, because if Bill Clinton ends up in one of these documents, and they're like, Bill Clinton, this girl, Epstein, then I want Bill Clinton to be fucking held accountable. If I don't want to say names because this is some weird shit. I don't want to get anybody, I don't want to get them all fucked up and stuff. But let's say my favorite sports figure, their name is in those documents. I want them to go on trial. I don't like anybody that much. There is nobody on this planet other than my wife and my children that I like so much that if I didn't see the names, or if I saw their names in the documents, that I wouldn't want to see them put on trial if there's enough evidence to do so. As it goes for everybody, there must be evidence. And this is where me and the conspiracy theorists, this is where we part. Because up until this point, me and the conspiracy theorists, we're fucking mind melding. We're space docking, okay? And then this is the part where we fucking do this. Because then I'm like, okay, but there does need to be evidence. And they're like, no! It's just common sense! Even for Trump, there has to be evidence. There has to be evidence. But as we know with Trump, Donald Trump leaves a trail of evidence behind him like he's fucking Hansel and Gretel trying to find his way back to the house. He drops fucking tweets and videos and phone calls, and apparently the only thing he doesn't do is email because somebody told him not to email people, but that's how they get people. They forgot to tell him not to do all the other shit. Which is good for everybody because that's why his ass got convicted. But god damn it. You know if Trump did some shit, there is like a fucking just a mountain of evidence because he has an inability to not tell on himself. It's fucking insane. It's also dumb and so obvious the Democrats are doing everything to stop him from winning. Are you defending him with the Epstein? Are you defending Donald Trump over Epstein right now, Frosty?
Talked about Trump as one of Epstein's friends.
What up,
Two of the unsealed documents the judge said named Doe 174, Donald Trump.
I guess there's
are from
other
the
reasons,
of
but if
Johanna
I were to have
Sjoberg,
that, it'd be
who has
because of
accused
fantasy
Epstein
football.
of rape
Okay,
and
he
Prince
hurts.
Andrew of groping her. The
What
British
up,
royal
Tired?
has denied the claims. In the deposition, Sjoberg denied massaging Trump at any of Epstein's properties.
How many presidents
she also
is
described
there
flying to
evidence
Atlantic City
that they
in
broke the
Epstein's
law?
private
Is a
jet,
question,
where they
Frosty.
visited one of Trump's
You gotta have
casinos.
evidence.
Jeffrey said, "Great,
You can't
we'll
just
call
say
up
it just
Trump
makes
and
sense
we'll go
that they
to
did.
I don't recall the name of the casino, but we'll go to the casino," she recalled in the deposition. Another document, which was fully unsealed in 2022, is an already public 2016 New York Post article about the allegations against Epstein. It mentions that Trump and Epstein were friends and
Of course
spent
they
time
were.
at
There's
parties
fucking
together
literal
in Palm
fucking
Beach.
photos of
The
them.
three other unsealed documents are motions and letters from lawyers representing Epstein and Alan Dershowitz.
I love
where
how many
Trump is
people end up in
mentioned
here too that end up
passing.
going to
Mr.
prison.
Epstein's name has been widely linked in the press with prominent individuals such as Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, his attorney.
Frosty, but every one of you, if Bill Clinton's name pops up in it, if anybody that's left wing or Democratic's name pops up in it, if people on the right lose their fucking mind, they're like, look, I mean, look at X before this shit dropped, right? If any of you guys are on X, I'm bad at social media, right? So for a little bit, I was paying attention to X and trying to do stuff over there, right? So that happened to be around the time that they claimed that they were going to drop the Jeffrey Epstein list, which there isn't a list. It's just documents that have people's names in them. And these people literally started faking lists with like fucking Tobey Maguire and shit on it. I think Justin Timberlake, Tupac might have been on one of them. But it was like the dumbest shit. People faked these lists and they put all these left-wing people on it. People on the far right freaked the fuck out. Like, there's going to be so many left-wing people on there. And as soon as there's right-wing people on there, they're like, there's no reason to even care about this. I don't know why everybody's getting worked up. Big deal. People know each other. That's what? People can't just know each other? Everybody's got a non-disclosure agreement. This is the shit you guys say. This is what you guys say. And this is why nobody can take your asses seriously. Because when there's fucking something like this, where we should all be able to agree upon, where we're all going to sit here and say it doesn't matter if they're left, right, center, doesn't fucking matter. If they were there and they were doing shit they weren't supposed to and there is evidence, I'm still throwing that out there. There's evidence, then their ass should be held accountable. And you should be with that. But because y'all in a fucking cult, you're like, no way, the master doesn't do that. The master would never do that. The master has been proven to hang around with motherfuckers that go to prison all the time. There are people that have been fired and written books about the shit. There have been people that weren't fired and wrote books about the shit. There are people that have been fired and went to prison. There are people that weren't fired and went to prison. There are people that got pardoned by Donald Trump that were his friends. If Donald Trump was the president of the United States right now and Donald Jr. just got convicted of 3 fucking felonies, Donald Jr.'s ass would be pardoned right now. And you fucking know that, but you're gonna sit there and act like, oh no, no, he wouldn't, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. No, he fucking isn't. No, he fucking isn't. And you know he isn't. But you can't get that shit through your head. You can't even fucking look at the shit that's literally right in front of your face and say, well, okay, look, that did happen. That is true. Here's some other reasons. that I still like the guy. No, you just straight up act like the shit didn't happen. That's why people can't take you seriously.
Attorneys wrote in a motion arguing that he should not be forced to testify in front of a jury, later adding his
I
personal
forgot to say
appearance at
rigged.
the
It's
trial
always
of this
rigged,
case
too.
would predictably be the focus of massive media attention of both the mainstream and gutter variety. One unsealed
MAGA's
document
100%
from a lawyer
a cult.
representing Dershowitz seeks to discredit one of his accusers, Sarah Ransom.
Dude, I could literally call anything Save the Puppies. Make America Great Again? Great name. Sounds great, except for the fact that America's already fucking great, so... Also, that you stole that shit from Reagan. But, you know, forget all that, because once again, that shit don't exist, right? That shit don't exist. No, it's all Trump. Trump did all of these things. You fuck all the actual facts. Make America Great Again? Cool name. Sounds good, dude. It doesn't matter if your name is Make America Great Again, and then you're a bunch of fucking crazy cultists that won't believe the shit that's literally right in front of your fucking eyes. Doesn't matter if your name is Save the Fucking Puppies. That's the same reason that QAnon has based its whole fucking ideology off protecting children. Because they know the smartest way to get everybody behind it is to go, hey, we should protect the kids, right? Yeah, fuck yeah, we should protect the kids. Hey, we should make America great, right? Yeah, fuck yeah, we should make America great. We agree on all that shit. But behind the scenes, that's not what the fuck you're doing. You're being fucking weirdos. Your brains are fucking broken by COVID. And fucking Donald Trump telling you that he's a victim. You're literally in an abusive relationship. The guy beats the shit out of you in front of everybody. And when somebody comes in and goes, hey, that's a bad dude. He shouldn't do that to you. You go, he loves me. He loves me, and I would give up my own life for him. I would do whatever it takes. Because that's a good person. That's fucking insane. And that's in a cult. You're in a cult. You guys drive me nuts.
By saying she has made unproven claims about possessing video footage of powerful people having sex with girls in Epstein's home. Ransom has said that she had a friend who was one of the many girls that had sexual relations with
fucking yell at their own people
and that the
constantly.
friend said she had sex with Donald Trump and Epstein.
What kind of cult shits on their own presidential candidate over the things that he's decided to do? Where do you guys think you got the whole fucking Joe Biden is old bullshit? You got it from the left. The left was talking about Joe Biden being old fucking 10 years ago. The left has been talking about Joe Biden being in politics for 50 years a long fucking time ago. All of your talking points, the Trump derangement syndrome, all your fucking shit that you guys use as fucking insults, the word snowflake, all comes from the fucking left. But you guys can't remember that shit because you literally live in this lane where you're like, as long as I don't believe the things that are going on around me are going on, it's okay. Everything's okay. What kind of shitty cult is the left for fucking shitting all over Joe Biden for the Israel-Hamas conflict? That's the worst fucking cult I've ever heard of.
Manhattan mansion. She told me how he kept going on about how he liked her pert nipples, Ransom said, purporting to cite a friend.
Jesus
Donald Trump
Christ.
liked flicking and sucking her nipples until they were raw. While 3 of the 9 documents naming
Yes,
Doe
Rusty is here to get
174
abused.
have still not been fully unsealed, the public docket includes versions with some redactions.
Oh,
and it's
I've watched a
incredibly
lot on
easy to see
QAnon.
where
I have a
Trump's
friend
name
who lost
fits
his
in
wife
them.
to that
So
cult.
some of the documents
I can
are
tell you
incredibly
all about it,
incriminating,
Frost.
but not all of them are. But we can take away that Donald Trump had a close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. They knew each other incredibly well, and multiple times they were working in tandem. So Donald Trump had sex at Jeffrey Epstein's places, or vice versa. Jeffrey Epstein would bring his underage girls to Donald Trump's mansions. We're going to learn more about this as the story develops, and I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. MAGA likes to spin this story, make it seem like Joe Biden is somehow a sex trafficker when we literally have Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein together on documents. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button, and have a great day.
Why did no one tell drivers about this new rule?
All right, if you're currently insured, you drive less than 50 miles a day, and you live in the...
And this is why I can't take people seriously. Some of y'all motherfuckers fall for commercials like this. Every time I get a YouTube commercial, I'm always like, who the fuck falls for this? And then I'm like, Trump supporters. You know what I was thinking about today? And I want to talk to you guys, because I know at least Frosty's down with this. The fucking, you got to put your money in gold. This idea, and this isn't just a right-wing thing. It's mostly conservatives that think this. But it goes across the spectrum. All the people that believe that gold retains its value. Gold only retains its value as long as there is a literal market. Do you know what happens if an apocalypse actually fucking happens and you have gold? Like, if you roll up to my house and you want to buy an ATV from me and you have gold, do you know what I'd fucking do to you? I'd be like, nah, it's worth twice that much. You'd be like, no, the amount that this is worth is what that ATV is worth. And I'd be like, nope, not to me it isn't. Also, I don't have a scale. So we're going to have to eyeball this like a fucking pot dealer. I'm going to have to be like, yeah, that's about an ATV. I just wanted to bring that one up. I know that crosses some lines for a couple different kinds of people. Don't fucking put your money in gold. You know what you should put your money into? Fucking Pop-Tarts, Twinkies, cartons of cigarettes. Because if shit goes down, you know what's going to be worth a lot of money? Cartons of cigarettes. That's some prison advice for you right there. Cartons of cigarettes are the real cash. Okay. All right. Let's watch this one. This is the one I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch this one. Well, I didn't want to watch the video. I just saw an article on it, and I thought, this is the problem with America right now. It's like people are willing to say whatever crazy shit it takes to get a bunch of dumb motherfuckers to send them money. And you know whose fault that is, Frosty? It's Trump's fault. Because Trump stood up there and showed everybody how to do it. Everybody was like, no, people aren't that stupid. My wife convinced me before the pandemic that I should stop calling people idiots. She said there's a lot of people out there that are pretty smart people, and you need to give people more credit. I said, it seems like there's a lot of stupid people. She was like, no, there's good people and they mean well. Nope. Donald Trump proved it. He stood up there and he went, you guys haven't done this yet? You're like, oh, I've been doing this all my whole life. These fucking people will buy gold shoes and Bibles. Also, they will wear your merch from fucking head to toe. Why aren't you guys doing this? And now, a bunch of fucking people are like, I can do that. And apparently, this girl right here, she took a shortcut. She had a cheat code that none of us knew about. Apparently, using the N-word is the way to skyrocket yourself to fucking fame and fortune within the MAGA cult. This is the kind of shit that I would literally just sit here and tell you that I'd be like, nah, I don't really believe it's that bad. It's not that bad on that side. And then you see this shit happen.
There is, without a doubt, something I've talked about a lot over the years, a problematic racist to conservative media personality pipeline. It used to run directly through Fox News.
Exactly,
but with the advent and the popularity and the growth of social media and people like myself being able to become a known quantity, I guess, doing work online, it's gotten worse and kind of circumvented the normal pipeline. What I'm going to talk about today is a little racist troll, or ostensibly a racist troll. I guess the conversation could be had about if you use the N-word, whether or not you're racist. Seems pretty self-evident to me. Young lady trying to cosplay as a trad wife, which if you don't know, good for you. You're not ensconced in this, enveloped by the nightmare that is white.
I have to say, that's one of the things that me and Angela used to talk about. Me and Angela Knight used to talk about was when she was dealing with all the red pill people, and how a lot of this shit doesn't exist offline. Like, you leave the YouTube sphere, and it's like leaving a world. Like, you go out in public, like I had to tell people, I'm like, no, I went on some fucking debate panel last night and had to convince a dude that he can't like just be an asshole to women, because that is actually the opposite of how you get a wife. And he was astounded by my knowledge. And then he also told me, even though he can't get a single girlfriend and I have a marriage of over 20 years, that he knows better. He knows better how to please women. And people would go, what? What? That makes no fucking sense. I'm like, no, that's this community that exists on YouTube. And they're like, it's not real. I'm like, yep. But only here. This is the same thing with this stuff. Like the trad wife thing, all that shit, it's not real. It's like 4% of you. And y'all just want, like, this is like the one place where you can fucking bond together with people of like minds. And it feels like there's a lot of you. But just like MAGA's going to find out soon, there's not a lot of you.
White Christian nationalism. Trad wife stands for traditional wife, where they sit with their little apron on and they make their little dinner when wearing a sundress or whatever, trying to put forward the notion that being a woman in a kitchen, having babies, serving and being subservient to her husband.
And I have no problem with women that want to be stay-at-home moms. I have no problem with women doing whatever makes their heart sing, okay? Like, there are women out there, I've met them in my life, that the most important thing in their life was they wanted to be a mom. They love that shit. And I've met women over and over again that the most important thing to them is their career, and they want to be somebody. And they want to, like, not that being a mom isn't being somebody, for sure. That's like fucking, I had a single mom and 2 sisters, believe me. I know. It's the hardest fucking job in the world, especially raising a badass child like me. But the thing about it is, like I said about the Harrison Butker speech, it's not that there isn't women out there that want to do these things. It's when you demean others for not wanting to do them. And it goes vice versa. You shouldn't demean a woman for wanting to be a mom or a homemaker. That's her decision, and that's everybody should be okay with women, men, non-binary, whatever your sexuality, transgender, whatever, doing whatever makes them happy. Like, you can cosplay being in a cult. I don't give a fuck, as long as you're not making other people's lives worse. As long as you're not trying to push forth legislation that inhibits their ability to be happy. Like that dude said, my tolerance doesn't have to be tolerant of your intolerance. What did I do?
Is the way to go.
4% is a shit ton of people when it comes to people.
And
yeah, that's probably
we'll just
true.
play this first clip. This is her on TikTok. There has been consequences. She's been fired from her job. We'll just get it all out there. Spoiler alerts.
Maybe I
but
used
she
the wrong
is
percentage.
unapologetic.
It's like
In fact,
0.5%.
she's declaring war, in so many words, against society, and attacking the black community, and really showing her ass as it relates to being a vile, xenophobic, little bigoted racist with a bunch of tweets about Jews and a bunch of other shit. So anyway, first, watch what sparked all of this, and then we'll go through the timeline and talk about it as we go.
Okay, this time I have a beef with the male community.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm prepared. I was just going to say something. This is once again a chance for Frosty or whoever else is a Trump supporter to just say, I don't support that. This is the problem. And this is why the left isn't a cult. Because on the left, when Joe Biden goes over and supports Israel, the left says, I don't support that. When Joe Biden doesn't speak out on something harshly enough or in support enough of something, the left says, I don't support that. I've done this a million times with you guys on this channel where I'll say, these are the things that I don't like about Joe Biden. These are the things that I like better about other candidates. There's not a single candidate that I like 100%. If you're a Trump supporter and this person is about to be, and we haven't watched the video yet, but let's say they're about to be very racist, very anti-Semitic, just a garbage human being, it's your chance to just say, I don't support that. That's all. You're not fucking standing outside with a sign. You're not no longer voting for Donald Trump. You're not fucking passing legislation to stop this person from being able to... No, all you have to say is, that's not me and I don't support that. That's all. What up, Jess? And yet it seems like... What up, DJ? It seems like it's like impossible. Like you guys have like this mental block where you're afraid. This is like when the left is afraid of saying Joe Biden's old. So you want a comparison between the two? For a while there, people on the left were like, "Don't say Joe Biden's old because he's gonna lose the race because of that, and it's gonna be the end, and it's gonna be our fault. And I was never down with that shit. And I was like, dude's old, and by saying he's not old, you just look like a fucking fool, and you just make them right by doing that. By saying Joe Biden is fucking a young fucking spry gentleman of 20. Everybody can see with their eyes that's not true. So instead you say, yes, Joe Biden is old. But also, Joe Biden has done this, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this, despite his age. And that's good for America. And I feel like what Trump supporters are constantly doing, and sure, you're on the defensive all the time. The guy's a moron. I get it. But the supporters and Trump, anytime something bad happens, they just act like it isn't happening, but everybody in the fucking room sees it's happening. So all you do is make you look worse and make him look worse. It's crazy.
I give my criticisms to all because we are all about equity and inclusion here.
I
right?
watched it, DJ.
So
I watched it.
I'm
We
sick
just
and
watched it,
tired
DJ.
of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub. You're getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card.
Wow. Okay. All right. Now, this is some red pill shit, right? Like this is, you knew these worlds were going to collide at one point. And this is something that people don't understand is in these communities. I don't know if you guys know what's her name? Who Pearl is. It's like this idea that if you play this character, you are going to immediately get, a following. You're going to immediately start to appeal to a certain type of person, which there's millions of on YouTube. YouTube is heavily skewed for men. Tons of young men, tons of men in general are on YouTube. So a woman saying things like, red pill type of stuff like Pearl says. I can't really get into it. I don't want to get into it. But she says some really messed up shit about women. She gets a huge following from that because there's a bunch of guys that are like, yeah, this woman knows what I'm talking about. It's not my fault, it's women's fault. And they do it by saying this like weird, like fucking hyperbolic, crazy shit. And they get away with it. And people are too fucking stupid to realize that they're being they're being gullible. They're being tricked by these people.
So I'm sick and tired of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know
gonna break
if
into
it's
it
because
right
you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub.
She's gonna say trad white
You're
shit.
getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas.
Wow! Oh, Jesus Christ. She's way too white to say that. Dude, I grew up in the ghetto. I ain't ever say that shit. I knew lots of white people that say that shit. They grew up with me. That's not a word in my vocabulary. That's not a place I'm willing to go. Not even when I'm rapping along to Tupac. Leave that one out. Wow. Okay.
and they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money. I couldn't care less about your fucking money, okay? My type is broke mechanics and surfer hippie dudes who just want to live in a shack and surf and have babies.
What the fuck is she talking about? I just saw something you said. You don't like my music? You know, I know my partner isn't a gold digger because she makes a lot more money than me. I guess that makes me a broke ass. One of the funniest conversations I had with red pill dudes where they would say shit like that. They'd be like, no, but like if your girl makes more money than you, then that makes you feel worse. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I've been working at my job for 17 years. I get paid pretty fucking well. My wife has a job where she contracts out and does things, and at times she makes a lot more money than me. And guess what? I think that's fucking amazing, because what she does, her victories are my victories. Her successes are my successes. My successes are her successes. Like, it's the craziest fucking thing for people to believe. And let's just be honest. It's an insecure male ego that believes that. An insecure male ego believes they need to make more money than their wife. And you got other problems, dog. If that's how you feel, if you're that concerned, if that belittles you or makes you feel like less of a man to make less money than your wife, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. That ain't a her problem. Okay? And guess what? It ain't going to be a you problem either, because at one point or another, her ass is going to go find somebody else that does appreciate that shit. That's the insanity of all this shit. And she's saying these things in a way that she's saying, like, I understand you. I understand why you feel these way. Because they call them 304s. The 304s, they're making you think that this is how women are. Like, this chick is playing your ass.
All I ask of a man is that
she's just dumping that shit on. She's just
you're not a
dumping that
pussy.
shit.
If somebody broke into our house at 3 a.m., you would know how to grab a gun and shoot a motherfucker. That's
Okay.
pretty much all we ask.
Dude. A bunch of people that have never shot a fucking person ever in their life talking about shooting people just drives me nuts. Like, you don't know what it's like to have a gun pulled on you. You don't know what it's like to pull a gun on a person. Like, saying that you're just going to get up and shoot somebody at 3 in the morning like you're fucking George Zimmerman. It's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. I watched one of these dudes sit there and he's talking about how he's like, I want to be able to, I've got my son, I'm training my son. So that way if anybody breaks into the house, he's downstairs at the foot of the stairs. I'm upstairs at the top of the stairs. That intruder, we're going to shoot him. I'm like, think about that for 4 fucking seconds, you moron. If you're shooting down the stairs at a person and your son's at the bottom of the fucking stairs, you're going to shoot him, you moron. Because people are just cosplaying. They're just fucking faking it. They're living a life that does not exist in real fucking life. This dude's going to murder his son on purpose, and his son's probably going to murder him on purpose, on accident. Maybe on purpose. Maybe you don't like his son. And then the criminal's going to steal your shit and leave. Like, these people they don't actually know.
Like, that's pretty much like all girls I know. I don't know one girl who's a gold digger.
Hold on, why
stop throwing us all on.
Why are we timing out Frosty? What is Frosty? Frosty, what are we doing? Yeah, you guys. Okay, let's not time him out for saying love, not hate. Let's remember, people are going to disagree with us. Okay, if he's being a troll, Frosty, stop being a fucking troll. If you keep fucking with the mods and they time you out, that's you can't fuck with the mods. Leave the mods alone. Okay, we don't talk about children either. Jesus Christ. If Frosty, if you're talking about that shit, don't talk, like, literally, you know not to talk about that shit. But let's not be fucking timing people out just because they say love, not hate, or they're being a fucking, just ignore them. It's better for the world to see it. I say it all the time. You guys can look at my comments. There's a lot of comments I push through on my videos that are actually hidden because I want the world to see them. I want the world to know that these people think these things. It's very important because if people don't see the crazy shit people say, if they're not aware that people believe these things, then unfortunately they do they think positively of it. Oh, it'd never be that bad. Because that was me, right? That was me. I said things like, no, people don't say things like that. People don't believe things like that. That's my wife's fault. She did that to me. So let it push through. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it happen. Let people see what's going on.
How to grab a gun and shoot a motherfucker.
Like this lady, like I have no problem with people
seeing That's pretty much all
it.
we ask. Like that's pretty much like all girls I know. I don't know one girl who's a gold digger. So stop throwing us all under the bus as if we're all gold diggers because we don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your money. My dating history consists of all broke guys. I actually don't even like rich guys. They have an attitude. They're spoiled brats. They don't know anything about real life. I was raised on a farm with 4 brothers. So I can't deal with the bullshit. I don't like a pussy. I hate pussies. So stop with the gold digger. Stop.
Thanks, Jess.
She uses
I appreciate
the word
it.
so casually, so confidently, so ignorantly.
Well, but that's the thing is that people are gone. That's the point of ignorance, right? It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's smart people are smart enough to know what they don't know, and so they don't talk about things. Dumb people aren't smart enough to know that they don't know something, so they speak with complete and utter confidence. That is Dunning-Kruger, and it is something that you see consistently in today's day and age, and I'm not just talking about in politics. I'm talking about in a lot of different places. When you got people that believe they're virologists, believe they know everything about war, believe they know everything about the economy, believe they know everything about politics, believe they know everything about everything. A smart person knows that there's no way that you could know everything you need to know about all of those subjects to be able to debate somebody that does this like either as a profession or somebody that is like really, really good at this type of thing and invests in it and has had an education in it. That's like Dunning-Kruger to a T.
This is one of the most telling examples that the thing I talk about all the time.
What up, Great Bill?
It's the lowest common denominator in conservative circles.
Oh, you love this, Great Bill. You should watch this.
You don't have to be nuanced. You don't have to understand the world. You don't have to exist within reality.
Sorry, John.
You just spew your vile bigot
J-Rum. Exactly.
nonsense.
What up, woke?
Your xenophobia, your hatred, your fear.
Yeah, they should
and
be
you are
talking about
embraced
children
by the
guys.
right.
I know we were talking
Now,
about Epstein. It's hard not to talk about.
This obviously went viral for good reason. And again, the other day I did kind of this same video about a guy on TikTok. Jerry Hall was his name, an old man who was lamenting interracial marriages being advertised by companies. Just a real idiot. And I said in that video that I try to, when it comes to regular folks, just somebody with a Twitter account or a TikTok account, I'm not here to get somebody canceled, even though I don't even believe that's a thing. I'm not here to get somebody fired from their job or whatever. But if you want to be famous, if you're trying to make a name for yourself, you invited a larger media spotlight on what you're doing. So
I think she did that on purpose.
This is exactly what she wants. She posted her apology. We're going to play it here. And really is leaning in. Now she's doing interviews with Alex Jones's InfoWars. I mean, she's wanting the spotlight. So we're going to give it to her. Here is her follow-up video to that, where she's not apologizing.
So a recent video of mine seems to have
I've seen this.
upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
You're gonna call us racist? You're gonna call us potential Timothy McVeighs? Fuck you. War.
This dude wouldn't make it 2 seconds in a fucking war. That's like the funniest thing about all this shit. Like, people keep fucking cosplaying this stupid shit, and we're gonna lose everything we have. I'm gonna make a video, the 10 fucking reasons that you're a fucking moron for talking about Civil War, okay? Because the only people that talk about violence in the way that these people talk about violence are people that have never been involved in violence. One of the things that I always gave Joe Rogan was that when he'd talk about fighting, he'd always go, you shouldn't talk about fighting in the way that you talk about it. Like, you're going to whoop somebody's ass, blah, 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 do all these things. He's like, because when you get in a street fight, you don't know what's going to happen. Even like a trained fighter can get knocked the fuck out, hit his head on a curb, and die. Like, and these are people that know physical violence. People that keep talking about Civil War, they don't recognize the pampered ass entitled life that they live every single day. I grew up in a place where people got shot. I grew up in a place where somebody fucking may or may not fucking disappear. I grew up in Slab City. I grew up in Bakersfield, San Bernardino, El Centro. Shit, I was even in Yuma, which is a shitty part of Arizona. I've been to the shitty parts of Texas. I've been in shitty parts of California. And I can tell you this. None of these people know what the fuck it's like to live in that type of society. And that type of society ain't shit on a real fucking war, okay? Like, the poorest you can be in America ain't shit compared to what it's like in Uganda, okay? Like real fucking talk. Talking about civil wars and how you would do this and you would do that and all that shit, talk is fucking cheap. It isn't. When you are in the middle of that shit, you ain't gonna do none of those things. You're going to try and get somebody else to do that shit for you. I've said it before. It ain't about left wing. It ain't about right wing. It ain't about MAGA. None of these people are going to win a civil war. You're going to have criminals that are willing to fucking kill people, that know how to kill people, that are going to be doing a lot of fucking damage. You're going to have a military that their whole fucking job is doing this. Okay? And then you're going to have a bunch of dipshits that are trying to fight each other. It's the dumbest shit. It's the dumbest shit. Yeah, Nancy, that's Mike Tyson.
Couldn't find a thought either. Couldn't find rationality.
But the funny thing is she's not serious. 100% she's not serious. She's playing a character. And this is something I learned when I first started doing YouTube content, and I was talking to Angela, and she was like, no, you have to understand this person isn't like this when they're not on camera. And I was like WWE? And she's like, yeah, like WWE. And I'm like, no, I'm just me. I just come on here. And that's why me and her got along so well, was because she was just her, and I was just me. And she got really popular because she spoke to a person in a very honest way and made him look like a fool. And that internet went all over the video and made her internet famous for that time. And that's what I'm saying is that lady, she is using you. She's not you, but people, Trump supporters, far-right supporters, incels, fucking morons that think that a civil war is a good idea. She's using them to create a sphere of influence that she's going to then use to enrich herself financially, because she doesn't take that shit seriously either. But I'll tell you this, you keep fucking around, you're going to find out. People keep fucking around, and somebody's going to do something stupid, and then you're going to lose everything that you have. I've said this before. If you think that a civil war is a good idea, think about this. If you're a Trump supporter, do you have a daughter that disagrees with you? Do you have a sister that disagrees with you? Do you have a mom, a dad, an aunt, or an uncle? Are you going to be willing to shoot them in the face for disagreeing with you over a politician? Are you going to be willing to get your ass off of the couch watching Netflix and eating nachos, to be at war every day of your life, to live in a time and age where there's a potential that a drone could come crashing into your house and blow your shit up like you live in Afghanistan? All of that shit that America's been doing to brown people across the world, you want to do that shit to yourself here? You're going to find out exactly why people get so fucking worked up about us doing that shit around the world. People are fucking stupid. and they just want money. They're greedy. And whether it's Laura Loomer or it's this chick on TikTok or it's Ted Cruz, they all don't think anything's going to happen. They all think they can consolidate power and keep themselves financially wealthy, all while not worrying about whether or not somebody does actually pull a Timothy McVeigh. And when somebody does pull a Timothy McVeigh, they're going to go, I didn't incite that, just like Trump didn't incite the insurrection. I was just speaking my truth. It's my First Amendment right. And when somebody runs a fucking van into a government building, blows it up just like Timothy McVeigh, they're going to be like, how is that my fault? And then they're going to find a way to grift off of it. That's the craziest shit.
Either. Couldn't find a reasonable, decent, loving, empathetic bone inside your body.
Hey, what's happening, Renee?
Is what you couldn't find. Couldn't find a care. I couldn't find a care. And the certain community she's talking about is the black community.
Of course she is, yeah.
And now she has risen to be probably the next Tomi Lahren or worse.
Yep.
By the way, at the end there, that's Andrew Breitbart, the founder of Breitbart.com, the racist, anti-Semitic rag, the conservative conspiracy theory outlet, and the fuck you, quite apropos, and also war. She's declaring war.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm fucking saying.
Great.
The
So
girls I
she
grew up with
tweeted
would
this.
fucking mop that girl up.
Well, first I was going to give you the statement about the black community and thanking for her being in the pipeline to conservative.
And here's the craziest thing. This is what makes that whole fucking MAGA thing so insane and so culty. Is there going to be black people that are MAGA supporters that are now going to use this to grift off of it. They're going to come out in support of that woman and her First Amendment rights. None of it's real. It's all just a grift. They are willing to sacrifice any type of pride that they have in themselves or the people they represent for the fucking lowest amount of money that you will ever see in a job. I can tell you this. YouTube don't pay shit. And it definitely don't pay shit in politics. Okay? YouTube pays finance. Finance videos make money. You know why? Because people that watch finance videos like money and will spend money because they have money. These people are using the worst fucking way to do things. They're appealing to the lowest common denominator. They're being like the shittiest human beings for a small, tiny amount of money. All in the hopes that they can make something so big out of it that they can possibly make some real money off of it. And like I said, get ready for it. The Nelk brothers, or what's those twins? Maybe that's the twins. They're going to come out and they're going to make a video. I support this woman's right to the First Amendment. Also, the N-word doesn't even make me mad. Because they're going to grift off it too. And there's going to be a bunch of gullible-ass white people that are going to be like, see, there's a black person, and they support it. That's right, brother. It's fucking crazy.
Fame for her racism. But she tweeted this also. Yes, I have a big nose. No, I am not a Jew. So, for those of you maybe who gave her the benefit of the doubt, and again, I will repeat it, we need to stop giving these people the benefit of the doubt. We need to stop giving the guy who rushes the stage just to stop his daughter from shaking the hand of a black superintendent. Stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. I got a lot of emails on that one. Oh, you're jumping to conclusions. A lot of people said the same thing about this. Oh, she's just casually using the word. It was not a hard R, so it makes it different or better or somehow acceptable.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Not where I come from.
But stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. This is who she is. Yeah, I got a big nose. I'm not a Jew. What? She also tweeted this.
She's
Thanks,
doing it on
black
purpose.
community, for helping to launch my new career in conservative media. You all played your role well, like the puppets you are.
And this is what I'm talking about. So we went from a time, and there was a time, there's a time where people, and they still do, where people jumped on things and made much of nothing, okay? There was a time where that was really, really big. And there's still times where that happens now. But we've entered a period of time now where people can just straight up say, yeah, that's what the fuck I was doing, and then be like, I was just joking. It was just all a joke. Why are you so mad? It was just a joke. And that's actually really sketchy. Because when you enter a time where people are able to do shit, fucked up shit, say fucked up shit, and then they're like, bro, I was just joking. You know it was a joke. You took it all out of context. Now we start to get to a point where you do have people that freak out over stuff and they feel like they're getting fucked with. They feel like they're getting trolled. And guess what? Where I come from, like, you fuck around with somebody a little too much and you fuck around with the wrong person and you can get punched. Or worse. And that's bad for society, man. Everybody shouldn't be... Like, people are taking this easy route, and I said this actually in Grey Pill's comments the other day, and I say it all the time, and that is, YouTube created a community of people that all want to be jesters. They all want to just act a fucking fool because they think that's entertaining. The Kardashians kind of created this, cookie-cutter version of it. You say dumb shit, you do dumb shit, it entertains the masses, and they pay you financially for it like a jester. But this world has enough jesters. It needs kings and queens. It needs people that take responsibility. It needs benevolent leaders. It needs people that want to do something for fucking real, to make a change, to stand up and help people. We got enough fucking jesters. We got a whole fucking army of jesters. We don't need any more. But it's the easiest route. And it's the one that most people will support. It's the one that's the most financially beneficial. And that's why she's doing it. Because, like I said, that little bit of money from YouTube, that ain't enough. You need some incels in your chat giving you $100. You need some black dudes going, I love you, white lady, because I support your right to First Amendment, because I hope to God that my channel gets big off your channel. The smartest thing you can do on YouTube right now is be a black dude that supports MAGA in the Republican Party. You will have 100,000 views tomorrow. Go look up a video of like Tom McDonald with black dudes watching it. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, a million views. Why? Because white people are looking for that security. They're looking for it and being like, look, it's okay for me to like this because look, this black guy said it's okay. And she's not even doing that. She came out and played the fucking Uno reverse card. People are still going to fall for it.
Heart emoji. And look, she is going to need that career in conservative media.
Somebody just said something, and that makes so much fucking sense. WHP, you have to ask these people, what would a victorious civil war look like? What is the end game that makes it a victory? A victorious civil war looks a lot like Hamas-Israel. And like I said, I'm going to make a video about this. It's going to be like, I don't know how many things, but it's going to be like the 10 reasons a fucking civil war is stupid. Do you realize that if you had a civil war of sorts, first of all, that California has 39 million fucking people. The next closest state is Texas, which has 30, and then Florida, which has, 22? And then after that, it's like 9 in New York. Okay? The Midwest is sparsely fucking populated. What you're going to have is each state bordering off its fucking border from each other state. And then in today's day and age of war, foot soldiers ain't the thing. It's drone strikes. It's fucking airplanes. It's Black Hawk helicopters. It's weapons of mass fucking destruction. Do you know what would happen if somebody dropped a nuke? It would make the Israel-Hamas conflict look like a fucking fist fight. If someone got a hold, if Donald Trump became the president of the United States and put Michael Flynn in charge and everybody rioted and we had a civil war, and Michael Flynn was capable of getting his hands on a fucking nuke, a guy who believes in QAnon, what do you think the world will look like if that happens? It's a stupid fucking idea. It's insane. Space lasers. Can't forget about space lasers.
I guess with InfoWars, because this is a letter from her former employer.
I was just
I don't know how to
trolling
pronounce
y'all.
the name of the company,
exactly.
Rofi or Rof. We at Rof of the Carolinas, I guess it's a nursing
Later,
home
Marie.
kind of an outfit or something, elder care or something. We at Rof of the Carolinas want to address the incident that caused concern and upset among our
The
stakeholders.
fifth largest.
A newly hired employee
Fifth
was
largest.
made inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company.
Is this where?
We
yeah.
want to make it clear that these sentiments are not representative of our organization, and we do not condone or.
But this is perfect for her. This is the right wing playbook. I've said this before. I don't even think Carrie Lake really wants to win in Arizona, because the smartest thing you can do if you are MAGA or if you are a Trump supporter is lose. Because if you lose, you become a victim, just like them. You're a big victim that, like, the whole world's against you. They've canceled you. They've taken away your comedy. They're enforcing LGBT equal rights on you, who it doesn't affect at all. This is what this woman wants. Because if you are a victim, there is a lane for you in MAGA. She's ticking off all the boxes. She's going to get the black dudes that support her because they know they can get big off supporting her. She's going to get all the free speech, say whatever. The N-word isn't even that offensive. Not all white people own slaves. God. She's checking off all the boxes. To be fucking honest with you, she must have got the playbook. She must have a fucking list that she is currently checking off. Got that one too. All she needs is Elon Musk to tweet about that shit. I bet it's already happened.
Support such behavior. As soon as we were made aware of the situation, we took immediate action to pull the employee from her assignment, which was not, more appropriately
It would
written,
look
which was
insane.
not directly with any clients of ours. And the employee in question is no longer with our company. We are owned and operated by African-American, female, and immigrant-owned business, and handled this situation quickly as we could. We want to assure you we are committed, blah, 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 company.
They're like, we are a business.
So she's fired from her job. And look.
And she's a victim now.
That's not cancel culture. This is the other thing. At the end of her video there, talking about the First Amendment, the First Amendment gives you protection from punishment from the government for your speech.
Yeah.
It in no way constrains private individuals or private companies from levying a consequence, not wanting to be associated with your hate and your vitriol. That's also freedom of speech. But she'll whine about the First Amendment as though it has anything to do with the First Amendment. It doesn't. One more, just welcome the latest iteration of Tommy Lahren that are getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can leave a comment below. We can have a conversation in the comments there.
And this is what I'm saying. These are the kind of things that are leading to society sliding down that slippery slope. It's greed. We talk about a lot, like the internet has improve people's ability to, make money in different lanes, which is great because some of those lanes are going to go away soon because of things like AI. Like I steadfastly believe that certain things, people are still going to want people, right? Like, so it's important to have it, but like, let's not burn it to the fucking ground before we get there, guys. Like, Jesus Christ, we have so many good things in this country. We have so many awesome opportunities. And what do we use them for? We use them to troll our way to financial status. And that if there is anything that is going to actually lead us down a slippery slope to a bad place, it's going to be dipshits like this lady seeing a lane for herself, being caustic, being a troll, and then financially benefiting from it. And like I said, this goes back to, I'm not even going to blame the Kardashians for this. This is before them, this is Jerry Springer and all that other shit. This is bum fights. This is, felony fights. This is faces of death shit. It's wow people, shock people, entertain people, And they won't know how bad of an idea it is until they're on the short end of the stick, and then they'll claim that they were victimized. And this is not where we need to be as a people. We need to be smarter than this, and maybe there's just too many fucking people. Maybe that's what it comes down to. But I firmly believe something that I was talking about on Monday is that technology has always outpaced us, and now it's outpacing us by a really large amount, and there's certain people among us that are really, really intelligent people that have a pretty firm handle on it, but there's also a large majority of our population in America that is far, far behind the understanding of what technology is, where it's taking us, and the effect it has on our mental state. And some of these people are directly being affected by people like this lady who knows she might not even be smart enough to be checking off all those boxes, but she intuitively knows that there's a lane for her if she plays the victim, if she says mean things, if she acts out. She knows that there's a bunch of people that will send her $35 a fucking person, and that's because people like Pearl exist, people like Trump exist, people like Laura Loomer exist. If people didn't make these people famous, you wouldn't have people like this lady doing these things because there would be no reason for them to do it. There's this crazy family on YouTube. They're totally white trash. And their name are the Thorpes. And they're trying to do the same thing, right? Like I told you guys, I can smell the trailer park on people from a mile away, or 100 miles away, or 1,000 miles away. It smells like Bush beer, cheap cigarettes, and the gasoline that they siphoned out of the neighbor's car last night. And you can smell it on them. And people go into the chat and they just fucking, they love hate watching these people. And they talk about how they need help and they need therapy, but they always come back. They always watch. They give these people money. And that's because we're like addicted to the entertainment value of these fucking jesters. And it's like you gotta raise yourself up. There's times for fun, and then there's times to be fucking serious, and there's times to get shit done. And you gotta be able to switch between those two. You gotta like have your times of entertainment and fun and enjoyment, and then you have to have those times where you go, okay, now it's time to do work. Now it's time to be serious. But people just they want to constantly live down in that bottom area, that shallow, nasty, degrading, disgusting area. And it's because it's easy. It really is. It's easy to live down there. All right. Did you notice that that's all came to a rise since Karens came to be? It's the Karenization of America. I'm sure I've been thinking like, man, you can put a lot of this shit together. It doesn't take a genius, man. It just takes a little bit of common sense to just look around at a couple different things and kind of push them together, and you're like, holy shit. I think I might have an idea of where some of this stuff came from. And like I said, it's balance. I've been saying this since I was in my 20s, man. It's all about balance. You should have your times where you laugh at dumb shit. We're going to watch some dumb shit here in a minute. We laugh at it, okay? And then you have to have your times where you're serious. It's all about balance. Everything in your life is about balance. It's about knowing when to be soft and when to be hard. Don't make any jokes off that. Make lots of jokes off that, actually. It's about knowing when to be serious and when to have fun. It's about knowing, in parenting you learn when you have to be strict and when you have to relax. You got to know when you have to be strong and when you can be open. Like that. This is like, I think that people just completely lose sight of the fact that you have to have balance. You can't just live. You can't live way up and you can't live way down. Like that. That's craziness. Anyways, let's watch something funny now. Speaking of balance. Now we'll watch something funny.
Make liberals cry again.
You are not
but Trump's
the father.
The one who's not
exactly.
in office. So the liberals were happy about the 2020 election.
Yep,
so if there is a group that's crying about it, it would be conservatives.
When he was first elected, And we were trying to, in 2020, we
Later,
were trying
Sharon.
to make that happen again, make
Nice.
him cry again.
But then he lost.
Go
He
whatever
lost,
team you're
right,
watching.
And now they're doing everything they can possible to stop him from even running in 24.
But if you had to say who's been crying about the 2020 election, who would it be?
Hold on. One more time.
First elected.
One more time. That was
and
amazing.
we were trying.
But
That
this
was
is Trump
amazing.
2020, make liberals cry again. But Trump's the one who's not in office. So the liberals were happy about the 2020 election. So if there is a group that's crying about it, it would be
They
conservatives.
cried when he was first elected, and we were trying to, in 2020, we were trying to make that
He's
happen
like, I
again, make
reused
him
the
cry
shirt.
again.
But then he lost.
He lost, right, and now they're doing everything they can possible to stop him from even running in 24.
But if you had to say who's been crying about the 2020 election, who would it be?
God, that was amazing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Obama is the one running the country right now, not Biden.
Okay.
This is Obama's third term.
You see, this is balance. Like, you could say to yourself, you could say, Jesus Christ, I don't want that to get clipped. You're a Trump voter. You could say you vote for Trump, okay? And then you could look at this guy and you go, Obama's not in power. That's crazy. And all the things that I think are bad about Biden should actually be laid at Biden's feet, because we're actually giving him an excuse if we say that Obama is actually the president. And as a Trump supporter, you could say, I like Trump for these other reasons, but this guy's crazy. And I do not support him or his beliefs.
And why do you think that?
What up, Bucket?
Because it's plain to see.
Oh,
Because he ain't
of
got
course
enough
he's whining
sense to
about
walk out of
gas
the room
prices,
without
DJ.
falling down.
So how is he actually
talks about
running?
he
Is he in the
can't
White
fucking
House right
afford
now?
groceries.
He's in the White House. He's behind the scenes in the White House, yeah.
So Obama, all the pictures taken of him not in the White House most of the time, is that not evidence that he's not in the White House?
I just love that you see the same people. That guy right there has been at so many Trump rallies. John emailed me and he was talking about one of the old videos, and we should play it sometime. But it's Edward the Debt Collector, and he's talking about how much he missed the rallies. And he's like, no, like this is like, I remember Trump looking out in the crowd and seeing me, and he's like, you're the guy with the beard. I see you at all my rallies. And he's like, it made me feel like I was somebody. And I think that this is truth. I do 100% believe that a lot of these people have found like existence. They found like a sense of being, the hive mind, the group being here. And that's why you see them all the time. And obviously there's the people that sell shirts, so they're grifting off of all this stuff. It's a very strange thing to see from a bunch of people that claim they don't have any money, that they travel all across the United States following this guy. I don't know about you, but I couldn't afford to do that shit.
I think both of them's in the White House, yeah.
Make honey.
Right. God damn it. My headphones. Technical difficulties. Bucket, it's here. Drink. It's a disability check? Probably. Yes. No, reconnect. Thank you. All right. Headphones are back. Oh, Christ. Drink!
One running the country right now, not Biden.
Okay.
This is Obama's third term.
And why do you think that?
Hold on.
Because it's plain to see.
I just thought of something. Okay, I don't want to freak you guys out. But if Trump gets elected in 2024, do you think Trump supporters are going to attempt to use this was Obama's third term to get Donald Trump a third term? What do you guys think? That's plausible, right? Like, that's plausible that these guys use Biden's first term as Obama's third term through some kind of conspiracy fucking gymnastics to claim that Donald Trump has a right to a third term? Let me know what you think.
Because he ain't got enough sense to walk out of a room before that.
Dude, I remember I called this shit.
How
if
is
it
he
happens.
actually running it? Is he in the White House right now, Obama?
He's in the White House. He's behind the scenes in the White House, yeah.
So Obama, all the pictures taken of him not in the White House most of the time, is that not evidence that he's not in the White House?
I think both of them's in the White House, yeah.
MakeHoneyGreatAgain.com. I'm Todd, the owner of the company, and we travel the country with him. We donate.
You see, fucking, we travel the country with him selling products. And he's about to say he donates to whatever fucking whatever. But I guarantee you 95% of these profits are going to him. Also, that's a fucking Trump bottle. Oh my God, it's a Trump bottle! Why would you take those cute little bears and throw a cute little bear out and get a Rumpelstiltskin, a Trumpelstiltskin bottle? Like, God damn it, man. Nothing is sacred.
Different organizations.
Nothing is sacred.
We're here today for the J6s. We're inside the gate. Mike Lindell used everybody in the country.
It should not be about entertainment. It's about finding a good manager.
Now, and why are you here today?
We are here to a couple
Dude,
reasons.
don't.
We're here to
That one will get
promote an
started.
awareness of
Don't do that, Levon.
That Donald Trump represents a higher calling for the United States.
Okay.
And we're here to represent that higher calling. It's not necessarily Donald Trump personally.
Donald Trump. Oh, he's about to say, it's not about Trump, it's about the movement. Because this is what they've started saying now. People keep saying now, it's not about Trump, it's about the movement. It's almost like they're already ready to move on from Trump if he doesn't win. You think that they'll just toss his ass? That this cult, like, I don't know if they could even do that. But what I was about to say is, what they do is when they don't have anything to speak on, like policy-wise or legislation-wise, they just start trying to find like the biggest words that they possibly can find, which aren't very big since they're Trump supporters. But they try to find like some kind of like, word that sounds like it's intelligent. Like they'll drop a loquacious on you. He's very loquacious, That's like, they're like, I heard that somewhere and it sounded really good. Like, what was it the other day? Salacious. When he said salacious, doesn't know what the fuck it means.
Although he's
so a higher calling? What does that mean?
Donald.
This country was founded on the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is the
Hillary's running things.
Founding
All
fathers
right.
came from a
The deep
totalitarian, oppressive regime where freedom of religion, freedom of speech was suppressed.
And what are you holding here?
What we have here is a painting that I did back in 2017 to show my support for the
okay, chat, hold on.
45th.
Let's grade it. What do you guys think? First of all, I don't know. It looks kind of paper mache, right? Like he's calling it a painting, but it kind of looks like to me like it's some pictures from a magazine. And I'm sure this man uses paste. He doesn't use glue. He uses paste just in case he gets hungry, okay? He fucking has some paste that he's stuck to this art. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. What do you guys think? I'm going 4 out of 10, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you guys why I think it's 4 out of 10. All right? Because up here, that eagle does look hand-drawn. And it looks like it was done with brown crayon. Okay? So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Just based off the fact that I think that's a eagle that was drawn with crayon.
President of the United States of America.
Could be AI.
I see we've got Trump, we've got eagles, we've got a bust of George Washington, we've got a white horse here.
Yes, well, George Washington's white horse, as you can see, George is riding the horse here. And,
this is deep.
And Trump
Can we see that? Can we see that?
In the center of all of this.
So what is it? So what does it say?
All of
Trump
this.
Tweets matters.
And what does that mean?
Oh my God.
Well, people didn't like his tweets, but we.
Oh my God. What do you think about Melania not letting Barron be a delegate? This is I'm gonna have one that you guys are gonna disagree with me on, and don't unsubscribe. We just got over 11K. Okay, don't unsubscribe yet. I'm gonna give you guys a hot take. I don't think Melania's happy, and I know that's not the hot take. I know you guys are like, that's not a hot take. No, I think Melania has been told by Donald Trump that he did not cheat on her. And I think that Melania was sitting in that courtroom listening to Stormy Daniels give the deets on getting spanked and spanking Donald Trump. And she probably, said something about his little mushroom that fucking Melania was like, yep, that's the mushroom. Fuck! He did it! And I think she's been getting gaslit by this dude for how many ever years. And then, do you blame the victim? I don't know. I don't know Melania, right? I don't know her. She don't say a goddamn word, so I don't know what the fuck to think about her. But I think that her ass was sitting there in that court listening to Stormy Daniels give those steamy, weird accounts of having sex with Donald Trump, which nobody ever wanted to hear in their life, but we all heard, okay? And I think Melania was like, yep, he fucking did that shit. That motherfucker. Because it was just right after that she called that shit off. And I think that she was like, Barron, you're not going to be your father. And I think she snatched his ass up out of that. I think that she did. That's what I think. But I'm most likely going to be wrong. Barron's probably going to pop up as like a fucking congressman in Florida in like 2 years, and you guys are going to be all like, see, you're a fucking idiot and you're wrong. And I'm going to be like, yeah, my bad. That's the most possible thing.
The Trump rally people, we think his tweets.
You need to wake up,
a
Buck,
lot,
and you just
and
barely
wish he
even
would go
got
back
here.
to Twitter and say whatever he wants.
Okay, and is it a reference to Black Lives Matter?
Oh no.
Oh, she wasn't there?
No.
I made
Trump's
that shit up, didn't I,
tweets
Nancy?
matter.
It has nothing in reference to Black Lives Matter?
No.
Maybe she
They're
read the
not
newspaper.
after
Does
me,
that
they're
still work?
After you, I'm just in the way.
Maybe she read the deets.
Have you ever hidden any classified documents?
Hold on.
I don't know about.
I gotta go back to the video and hear these other things because now I'm interested. What do you guys think? What do you guys think was the reason behind Barron getting pulled out of the delegation? I want to know what you guys think. I just gave you guys my fantasy conspiracy theory bullshit, and Nancy's already blowing holes in it. It took like 2 seconds before my story started falling apart. I could never be a politician. You guys tell me what you guys think is the reason while I rewatch what this guy talking to her.
And what does that mean?
Well, people didn't like his tweets, but we personally, the Trump rally people, we think his tweets matter a lot. And wish he would go back to Twitter and say whatever he wants.
Okay, and is it a reference to Black Lives Matter?
He's crying about working.
Oh, no.
Good call, Levon.
No, Trump's tweets matter.
It has nothing in reference to Black Lives Matter?
No.
Oh.
They're not
that's
after
very
me.
interesting,
They're after
Nancy.
you. I'm just in the way. Have you ever hidden any classified documents?
Are we talking
I
on
don't
the
know about
spectrum,
that.
Nancy?
Like Biden, you mean?
Well, Trump had the classified documents. He didn't give them back. He got in trouble for it.
He can declassify
Yeah,
anything he wants.
that's pretty right. That's pretty right. Yeah.
There's nothing for him that's classified.
Like, it should only take about 2 seconds to run this through your head to realize why that wouldn't be true. If you could declassify anything that you wanted as the President of the United States, you could literally walk out with the JFK files. You could literally walk out with the Epstein files. You could, and I'm not saying, I keep putting files on the end of this because the fucking MAGA people put files on the end of everything, and now I'm doing it. It's like when I made fun of somebody for saying bro too much, and now I can't stop saying bro. But if you think about it, for more than 2 seconds, would it make any sense to allow anybody, including the President of the United States, to just walk off the property with any information that they wanted to? That would be a national security risk. It'd be an international security risk because there's different classifications, including the foreign, the Five Eyes or whatever it is. It's the 5 different nations that we're allied with that information is a different classification. You couldn't walk off the fucking property with whatever you want. That would make absolutely no sense at all. And the fact that he got away with the ones that he did makes me very concerned about the security of our nation. And I've said this before. I actually don't think, here's my next hot take. I actually don't think that Donald Trump even knew that he had all of that shit. I think that Donald Trump, a couple of them, he like stashed in there. He was like put them in the box beneath his shoes. and under his world's greatest dad trophy that he bought for himself on Father's Day. In the box, he had a couple that he knew about, but I actually think Donald Trump's dumbass didn't even know how many he had. I think he was just like, let's just take all of them. Take all the boxes. He's fucking got like his fucking, his wig. He's got like fucking 10 nuclear secrets right under that shitty toupee. That's where I'm at with that. I can't stop saying bro.
Right, if he says it's deep.
But
bro.
They're not.
Okay.
They're not. They're not going after you for that, are they?
I need to maybe watch some Barron.
Me for that.
Because this
They
is
keep
a
him out of
picture
the
of him
spotlight.
surrendering.
Yeah, but we're never going to surrender.
But that's a picture of the moment that he turned
Dude,
himself in and
Eileen
surrendered.
Cannon,
But
dude.
that's not, what's surrender? There's no surrender.
No, but he did on film here. That's what a mugshot is when you surrender to
authority.
authority.
We want to give you, but it's not.
You're a big Trump fan?
Always.
Why is that?
He's the best. He's tough. He withstands all the government overreach. This is a two-tier justice system now. I came from a communist country, and this is just what it's.
And I've said this before. I feel really bad for people that come from outside foreigners that like have actually like dealt with real shit, and so they're like abuse victims. And this is the thing. I'm going to continue to use this example, this analogy, because I really 100% believe this, that Trump supporters are in an abusive relationship and they don't want the cops to take him away. Like they're like, no, he's a good dude. You guys don't understand. Because who do abusers seek out? They seek out people that are easy to manipulate and people that have been abused before, okay? They like their victims to be people that have already been cookie cutter set up for them to be their next victim. And somebody that is foreign, that comes from somewhere like Cuba or Russia or wherever, that has had these like dictatorships, are his perfect victims. Because he just instills in them this giant amount of fear that these same things that they're running from are exactly what they're going to experience here in America if they don't vote for him. And that's what an abuser does to their victims. An abuser goes, like, I'm going to keep you safe from the other people. And yes, every once in a while, am I going to hurt you? Yeah, but it's for your own good. I only do it because you need that. That's the only reason it happened. And also, I'm sorry for it. That, like, I grew up in a domestic violence situation with my mom. My stepfathers were always abusive. I can tell you this shit. This is what an abuser does to abuse victims. Gaslights them. Tells them if they leave or if they go anywhere else. Yeah, you want to leave? Go ahead. See what happens to you. See what happens to you. That's what an abuser does. And that's exactly what Donald Trump tells his supporters. You don't want to vote for me? Vote for somebody else. See what happens to you. It's abusive.
It's becoming.
You think that Trump is going to stop the country from heading in a communist direction?
It's a good question. Well, being that I'm
like
Gen X, I'm going to guess it's because most of us saw that shit and we're fucking tired of it.
Jesus Christ.
Donald Trump has been like Jesus Christ?
Yeah, saving this country, giving his life for the betterment of the people of the country.
Well,
it's just so crazy how fast their language. Like, look at this dude. Holy shit. Trump hat, Trump shirt, Trump shoes. I don't think those were released at the same time as them Chinese versions. That's a different shoe. You think he may have those custom? This dude complains about not being able to put food on his table, pay his rent, the gas prices are too high, and he's probably got $150, $200 worth of Trump merch right here. Holy shit. It's crazy how fast their language spreads. It is like a virus. Like, immediately the guy's using the two-tier justice system. The dude's using he's crucified. We need to watch a Richard Dawkins video on memetics, on how memes are used to spread information quickly. We need to watch The Righteous Mind with Jonathan Haidt, and we need to watch something from Richard Dawkins on memetics. We're going to have a science stream. In Tamika's name, we're going to have a science stream here pretty soon. Because this is the type of stuff that's really kind of weird.
In what way?
He's given his worth, his time. He's not on vacation like Biden. 40% of the time he's on Delaware on vacation.
He played golf like so much when he was president.
And look how much he did.
Well, he played a lot of golf.
Yes, and he accomplished
Trump
things.
boner sticker sticking out of his mouth.
So
exactly.
much golf though.
And people
fucking
respected him.
fleshlight. Trump fleshlight, dude.
if he was guilty, would you feel strongly about your art still if it were proven that he was lying?
I would still support Donald J. Trump for president.
You would? You wouldn't have an existential crisis as an artist that you've been creating art for this guy?
No, sir.
Who is president right now?
Right now, we're watching
Oh
a
my
scripted
God, look
movie.
at this, bro.
Sleepy, creepy Joe is gone. He's
Look
not
at
even
this,
here.
bro.
We're watching a man with a mask play a role to wake up these people.
Oh my God.
The people have been watching. Basically, we've been living in a satanic
Oh my God! I should hold on. I'm just gonna let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish.
world.
There's like polls that a majority of
That's all it was. Okay, we're living in a satanic world. The Trump supporters that are probably my favorite are the ones that actually take the counter ideology, and that is that Biden is actually trying to prove to everybody how bad it could be if Trump doesn't get to be the next president. That, like, I'm telling you, there is something to being that creative, but also at the same time having that much cognitive dissonance. There is, I don't know what that is. Maybe we need to get a psychologist on the show to help us break that down. There's got to be some kind of term for that. But the ability to be that creative, but also at the same time not understand that you're being fantastical about the shit you believe. Like, that is fucking crazy.
Americans are not excited about a Biden-Trump rematch.
Dragon, no. Don't say things like that. You don't think so? Oh, God.
Landslide.
Okay. But it's going to be a rematch. It's going to be Biden versus Trump.
It's not even Biden, but that's okay.
What do you mean it's not Biden?
Shadow government. Everybody knows that.
What do you mean? So who is the president now?
Elected? Trump, he won by a landslide.
But
This is thanks to Russia and Chinese troll farms. I 100% agree with that, Nancy. That is something I've been trying to say for the last year and a half, is that, like, think about it for 2 seconds, Trump supporters. You hated Russia. Russia was the enemy. Russia started interfering in the elections. China, who is Russia's friend, their ally, started interfering in the elections. All of a sudden, you love Russia. All of a sudden, you believe crazy shit that you would have 4 or 5 years ago told us all that this is the route to communism. Now you believe all of these things. Just for like 2 fucking seconds, ask yourself, how the fuck did we get here? And it's because they have ran the most successful interference campaign possibly of all time. This is something that America did all through the 80s. We did it in a very like fucking rudimentary way. We used like actual people and sent them over to other countries and did fucked up shit, and it created this instability throughout the world. And literally, this is what Trump supporters will say, too. Jesus Christ, I can't believe think about this. If I was a Trump supporter right now, what would I say? I would say, yeah, we were fucking around in other people's governments. That's why there's fucking around in ours now. Why would we be okay with that? Make it make sense. And then, in the words of Jesse Dollemore, make it make sense.
Biden is the president right now.
Elected or selected?
Oh my God.
But he is in the Oval Office, the president right now.
He's not, okay, he's a president, but he's not commander-in-chief. How's that?
But he is the commander-in-chief.
Is that what
Good
you're
job,
gonna
Splash.
say?
Good job, Splash.
No, but he is the president right now, right?
Not my president.
But he is the president of the United States.
It's not coming from my mouth. Nope, he's not my president.
But I'm not saying he's your president, but he is the current president of the United States.
Nope. No.
What do you mean?
He's not. He's just making the show.
What do you mean the show?
It's a big show right now. I mean, if you can't see it or if people can't see it, that's on them.
Like, this is what I'm saying. If you're these people back here, and look, everyone's got a Trump shirt, it's so fucking weird, dude. It's so weird. But if you're these people back here and you can hear this conversation, I'm sorry. If I'm any one of these people and I'm there, let's say I'm a Biden supporter, and Trump's the president, and they're going, no, Biden's actually still in office. I would be like, okay, those people are fucking nuts. I don't give a shit if you agree with me on the person that you want to vote for. You're still crazy. And this is one of the things I have with Trump supporters is they can't say that. They can't look at the other Trump supporters and go, that shit's nuts. That makes no fucking sense at all. That's a fucking weird thing to say. And that person's crazy. That's the kind of shit you should be committed. Or at least taken to a rehab or something. Had an intervention. Maybe an intervention. The people doing the interventions now aren't doing the interventions anymore. Dr. Phil is literally as crazy as the people that he used to intervene on.
I'm confused as a show. He is the president.
Redunk's definitely
right now,
back there
right?
somewhere.
If you want to call him a president, you can call him a president. But to me, he's not the president.
Who runs the country?
He's not.
Who runs the country?
Right now, it's behind the scenes, but it's not him.
This one's 45, so I'm looking forward to doing the 47. And for me, what this really means is that if you add the numbers together, it's 4 plus 5 is 9.
Oh no. Oh no. They like this is like conspiracy 101. When you bring mathematics into it, you start adding the numbers together. That's when you know you deep. You deep.
9 and 4 plus 7 is 11. So I think this is Donald Trump's 9/11 on his enemies.
What?
That was the perfect moment. What? All right, guys, in chat right now, have any of you painted a picture of Biden? Do any of you own homemade art that you made of Joe Biden? And have any of you done any math equations that could personally prophesize that Joe Biden is about to do something? Okay, for the love of God, somebody's got to look into this. Is there a video of any Biden supporter anywhere saying that Joe Biden, the number he is, plus this number equals that Joe Biden is going to do something? I have to find out. I just, for my own sanity, because I would just think that there has to be somebody out there that's done some dumb shit like that. It's just more prevalent on the Trump side because they're a fucking cult and their brains are all broken. It's his 9/11. So he's going to terrorize America? Is Donald Trump's moment of crashing 2 planes into the World Trade Center? How does that even make sense? Oh, God damn it. This is so much work. Hold on. I want to get that what one more time. That was amazing. Oh.
And for me, what this really means is that if you add the numbers together, it's 4 plus 5 is 9, and 4 plus 7 is 11.
Show.
So I think
sorry,
this is
FJB.
Donald Trump's
you gotta wait until after the show, and then I'll
his
figure
enemies.
it out. I'm not
What
good at this.
do you mean by that?
Well, if you add 4 plus 5, it equals 9. And if you add 4 plus 7, that's
It equals 11.
And then you get another 9/11, except it's their 9/11.
Gematria. There it is.
The deep state. The people that really are not.
You think that Trump planned to be the 45th and then the 47th president to provide that clue?
I don't know if it,
DJ, where did Gematria originally come from, though? Gematria, isn't that like an anti-Semitic thing? Fuck, I can't remember. I just watched a thing on this that talked about how Gematria is much older than the Trump movement. It was used for something else, and then they absconded with it. Don't steal my word, Trump. Absconded, okay? It's a good word. I don't want to hear fucking Trump try to say absconded. And if I have to say it one more time, I'm going to fuck it up, so I should stop. Fucking it up already.
In politics, nothing
that
happens
counts,
by
John.
chance.
So you donate to Mike Lindell as well?
Mike Lindell, his election, the Lindell Election Fund. We were with him in August at his election event that he did out in Springfield, Missouri.
But what
Is
was
he serious
that?
when he says all that stuff?
Oh, he's dead.
He
serious.
is?
Yes, he's dead serious.
Wait. So is Gematria okay? So Gematria, does that have something to do with gangs? So like where I grew up was all the skinheads and the Peckerwoods and all that stuff. And the 88 as in the Supreme White Power, their number is 23, which is the W, and 88 is HH, which is, Heil Hitler. Don't fucking clip that. God damn it. My wife is like clipping all these things. Is that where gematria is from? I multiplied 45 times 45 and got 2025, which scared me to fucking death. I don't even want to verify if that's true or not, John. Oh, man. Oh, no. I don't think I want to verify that one.
Lindell as well.
Mike Lindell, his election, the Lindell Election Fund. We were with him in August at his election event that he did out in Springfield, Missouri.
Is he serious when he says all that stuff?
Oh, he's dead.
He
serious.
is?
Yes, he's dead serious. We are.
But
going
is he correct in any way? A lot of times people look into this and they say this guy's.
Yes.
He's not correct.
I feel that he's correct. I mean, we do.
Why do they keep?
Except for that one Trump supporter that proved him wrong, and now he owes him $500 million, and it was a fucking Trump supporter that proved him wrong. God, that was so amazing. I just want to harken back, guys. Let's talk about a better time. Do you guys remember when Mike Pillow just was the Mike Pillow guy? Nobody gave a shit about him. He was just a weird fucking dude with the pillow commercial, and you didn't love him, you didn't hate him, you just laughed at him a little bit. Do you guys remember when Rudy Giuliani used to be America's mayor? And he was just a fucking goofy little dude that had done some supposedly good things. Do you guys remember when Dr. Phil wasn't an absolute fucking weirdo? Like, there was a time, guys, we need, and we all know when it is. I'm kind of, this is a rhetorical question. But I think that we do need to do some research into this and find where is the line when all these people lost their goddamn mind? At what point? Because there's got to be some kind of connection. Now I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist. Fuck! There's got to be a line, though. Something happened. Was there a solar eclipse? Was there a shooting star? There was something that happened, guys. You guys are I know you guys are screaming in chat the COVID pandemic right now, but it was before that. Somebody's probably gonna say Obama. It was Obama got elected. We got to figure out where all these points come together, guys. We got to solve this mystery. Because I'm just saying, a lot of weird shit just happened. Okay.
Keep not finding, the evidence. It's only him.
Well, his stick was that they were lied to, that these machines were not hooked to the internet, and he proved that they were hooked to the internet. So they do have access.
That's a good call,
But
man.
even if he did prove that, what would make all of the kind of wacky things
Lead
that
and
he's
arsenic.
saying
I like
true
that
about
bucket.
voting
I like
in this
that.
country?
Papa Trump, you got this. Stand strong.
Papa Trump?
Papa Trump, because that's my papa. That's my papa.
It is Pride Month, so okay, I'll allow it.
Papa Trump, I love that man, and anything he wants.
Consider him like a father figure?
Rush
Yes.
Limbaugh. Yeah, that's a
Yes.
good call.
He
We're gonna
said
go back
that
to
the
Rush.
square footage of his own condo was 3 times the amount that it actually was. Like, that's lying about it.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe
It said it in the documents of his company. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how that comes out, though. I don't know. There's always
It's already
something that-
come
If that's
out.
the case, does that change
What do
your
you
opinion on it a
mean?
little bit?
No, absolutely
it's
not.
okay.
Jesus Christ.
But it's not. It wouldn't be fake because he did say it.
Yeah, but how do we know that? Where?
He
Because
doesn't
his own
deny
company
it.
Put it out, and they said that it was their document.
And I'd have to see it, and then you know what I mean. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is what drives me nuts. Is he doesn't even deny it. He says stupid shit like everybody does that, bro. There's no hope for these people. There's just no hope.
About, but if I saw it, then I would say, okay, cool. Well, there's a reason for it, guaranteed. So.
But if he did lie about that, do you think maybe it's possible he lied about others?
I need to have faith in a person the way these people have faith in a. No, I don't. I shouldn't even say that. Not even as a joke. Not even as a joke. Holy shit. Like, even if it comes out that this is all true. See, this is what I'm saying about when we were watching the Epstein video at the beginning of all this shit. Is that I will sit up here and I will tell you guys 100% that if anybody that I currently like ends up being in documents that include Epstein, and there is evidence against those people, and they go on trial and they find those people guilty, I will sit up here and go, that fucking person's a scumbag. F that person. I want nothing to do with that person. Okay? 100%. And you guys can hold me to that. I'm on video saying this. If somebody that you think I like, if somebody that plays for the Eagles ends up on one of those fucking documents, first of all, I'm going to be very upset with my team. Second, you guys call me out on that shit, and I will admit it on stream that that fucking person's a scumbag. These people, I guarantee you, if they already believe Trump's name's in it, 200 times? If there is enough evidence and I don't think they can put anybody on trial for the Epstein stuff anymore because of fucking statute of limitations or whatever. But let's just say it is. Hypothetically speaking, they put Trump on trial. He's found guilty of the very thing that these people say is the worst thing. We all agree is the worst thing that a human being could possibly fucking do. And they will say, no, he didn't do it. It's all made up. That's my fucking problem with these people. That's why this video or this channel has never been about Donald Trump. This channel has always been about crazy Trump supporters. And people come on here and they're like, you're obsessed with Trump. No, I'm obsessed with his crazy fucking supporters. Because it's mind-breaking. It's boggling. This shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be real. Psychosis, this is real, literal mass psychosis. It shouldn't exist. It's fucking insane to watch.
Trump doesn't lie.
Trump doesn't lie?
No. No, he does not lie. No, you'll see. You'll see.
You don't think Donald Trump has ever lied?
No.
Like Billy
When
Mays,
he talks about
yes.
the biggest crowds, everything. You don't think he's lying about that ever?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Good versus evil. Do you think people that lie are evil?
Say that again?
Do you think people that lie are evil?
People that lie are evil. There's good and evil, period. That's it.
But if it turns out that Trump lied about the 2020 election results, would that make him evil?
Trump hasn't lied.
This is like too much. You can only take so much stupidity in one sitting. I may have met my cap. Like, you've seen Trump supporters say things like, oh, he's probably lied. Like, he's a good dude, though, and who doesn't lie? You get the who doesn't lie a lot. This lady straight up said he does not lie. George Carlin used to say it. He said when one businessman sits down across from another businessman, he looks at that other businessman and he goes, how hard can I fuck this guy? And he looks at him and thinks the same. And they think Donald Trump is a businessman. That's their main reason. Their whole basis of why he's good at being the president is based around he's a good businessman. And they believe he does not lie. Yet at the same time, they believe that everybody that does the same job as him lies, everybody that's a politician like he is lies, just not Donald Trump. These people, there's no logic to anything that they say.
Okay.
think he's ever lied?
Where are you coming from?
What up, Ichabod?
Is the Earth round or flat?
The Earth's flat.
Do you think the Earth is round or flat?
I know we didn't go to the moon.
We didn't go to the moon?
No, we didn't go to the moon.
Why do you say that?
What up,
can't get out of
LFG?
the atmosphere.
Really? What do you mean?
Why don't we go look at underwater or past the ice?
Sir, my God. I don't know if it's responsible for us to talk to these people anymore. I feel like if you're the adult in the room at this point, do we just put them on timeout? What do we do? What do we do? Oh, Christ.
That's where it's at. They want you to look up. They don't want you to look on our own ground.
Think the Earth is flat?
Ducky,
Round or
tell
flat?
me, man.
I'm not really sure.
What the fuck are we supposed to do with
flat?
this?
Okay, so
Could
what does
be.
it say there?
Oh, this is my favorite.
Trump, no more
I saw a
bullshit.
short on this one.
But what does it actually say there?
Well, you just have to use a blue Sharpie.
Okay. But
Bullshit.
it means bullshit.
Yes.
And that is Trump logic in a nutshell. What does it say? It says bullshit. No, it obviously says soul shit. Well, if you don't look at what it says and just believe in your heart of hearts that it says bullshit, it says bullshit. This is actually a prime example of Trump supporter logic right here. This should be fucking studied. I can't help but think 100 years from now that my poor fucking channel is going to get reviewed by like a species that is like so far advanced that I think I might be doing a detriment to society, because like 100 years from now they're going to unearth this material. They're going to have cured cancer. We're going to have populations across the galaxy, if not the universe by then. Okay? We're going to have equal rights for all. Everybody's going to be just like a fucking amalgamation of sexes and ethnicities, and there's not going to be any uniqueness at all. And they're going to fucking have their minds blown. Someone is going to stumble upon this footage, like dig this shit out of the earth, and this is going to blow their minds, and I'm probably going to take them back like 10,000 years. This is actually how how humanity gets reset, guys. And it's going to be all my fault. God damn it.
Okay, so what does it say there?
Trump, no more bullshit.
But what does it actually say there?
Well, you just have to use a blue Sharpie.
Okay.
We're glad you're here,
Bullshit.
Renee.
It means
We're glad
bullshit.
you're here,
Yes.
Renee.
But it says
Soul shit.
I think she got off
Bullshit.
T-Moon.
What about the 2020 election?
I think
Do you think
she
he
got a
did anything to like
yeah.
incite a riot at the Capitol?
No, we did not. No, I believe if
we
Nancy
have to
Pelosi
vote,
had
guys.
accepted the National Guard a couple
We
of days
have to
before,
vote.
That would have never happened. She didn't take
Thanks,
Trump's
Memphis.
help.
So if Nancy Pelosi accepted the National Guard, and then the National Guard would have been able to stop all the Trump supporters that Donald Trump said to be
It
there?
would have never started to begin with, but she didn't want help on it. She didn't want Trump's help on it, so that's why she didn't do it.
So it's the fault of the person who the people were going in there trying to kill? It's her fault that they were doing that?
There wasn't nobody trying to kill nobody.
No.
Hang Mike Pence? Were
No,
people
hang Mike
chanting
Pence.
No. They
No.
People were
No.
chanting Hang Mike Pence.
Was what?
Hang Mike Pence. People were chanting that.
No, I didn't hear about that.
On January 6th? Yeah, they were famously
Hold on. We
chanting
gotta
Hang
help
Mike
Memphis
Pence.
out. Memphis, were you not here 10 minutes ago when I said this is a channel that is now and has always been dedicated to making fun of crazy Trump supporters? Do you believe that Joe Biden is a skin suit, Memphis? Do you believe that nobody chanted Hang Mike Pence? Do you believe any of the crazy shit that Trump supporters say that is fucking out of this world? Because if you do, this channel is to make fun of you. Oh, it is you. Look at you, Memphis. You're here because you have no friends. You're in my chat because you have nothing better to do with your life than to come into a chat where we make fun of people like you because you're an abuse victim. This is what you're used to. You like this. You like it when people shit on your chest. They poop all over your chest and a little bit gets in your mouth and you got used to the taste. And now you kind of pick at your own beehole and you stick it in your mouth like a little 6-year-old does with his boogers. And we can point fingers at, I believe it's two wings of the same bird. You are a conspiracy theorist. Holy fuck, I can smell it on you people. Two wings of the same bird. Yeah. Do you know I'm a fugitive recovery and armed guard? Nobody fucking cares, Memphis. Nobody cares, dog. Jesus Christ. Why do you guys come into my chat and say the dumbest shit possible? Two wings of the same bird. Yeah. You want to know something? I'm going to take your analogy, Memphis. I'm going to take your analogy and I'm going to tell you the truth about your analogy. You're correct. They are two wings of the same bird. And you want to know something, Memphis? Those two wings keep that bird aflight. Okay, buddy? The perfect system for any form of government is to have moderates at the helm and to have the extremes behind them, pushing them, motivating them, looking to get what they want from them. But the moderates, which are the two wings of the same bird, have to stay as a line to be drawn that cannot be crossed by people that are extremists and that are fringe. That, you're right. They are two wings of the same bird. And this fucking bird don't fly without them. Okay, bud? So go back to guarding Walmart or whatever the fuck you do. Or you can hang out here. And if you have a real fucking question, or you want to talk like a real human being, you can ask me that and we can have a real conversation. But if you're going to come in here and say stupid shit, I will shit on your chest just like your daddy Trump does. Okay? Okay. Love you. Yeah, we're going to get destroyed. Sure, bud. Sure, bud. Okay. All right, whatever makes you feel good, Memphis.
People in the crowd, Trump supporters, I assume.
Find Jesus, bro. Okay?
Who do you think it was?
Anybody else who infiltrated that day?
What's the most important issue to you right now?
I love them. They're my favorite, though. You guys make my content.
Yeah. Period. You think the 2020 election was stolen?
Yes.
That guy? 100% that guy does.
Why do you think Donald Trump's own attorney general
Bell
found no
enforcement
evidence
officer.
of widespread voter fraud?
The highest of
I don't know
highs.
that that's a fact.
The most honest
It is a
people
fact.
on
Why does
earth
he keep
right
talking
there.
about
Good
election
God.
interference?
Of
Donald
course
Trump?
it's a Bell enforcement officer.
Maybe
The
he couldn't.
2020 election?
Well, he might talk about it as a way to deal with the fact
Fuck,
that
you
he
can't
lost the
write
election.
this shit.
I disagree with that.
I see that he represents principles of Dharma. Dharma means religious principles are like this fundamental Judeo-Christian values.
Are you one
of
of these people,
freedom
Memphis?
Of speech, freedom
Are
of
you one of
religion,
these
protecting
people?
The rights
Oh, he's
of
dogged the bounty
unborn.
hunter.
Freedom of religion? Didn't
He's
he
dogged the
wanna
bounty
ban
hunter.
Muslims
Holy
from coming
shit,
into the
dogged the
country
bounty
in
hunter. It's
2015
in
he
my
said that?
chat.
You tell me, did he ban Muslims? Or did he ban?
He said, I, Donald J. Trump, I'm calling for a ban of all
Hold on.
Muslims.
Let's talk to the other dipshit that's been in my chat for 5 minutes waiting to say dumb shit. Biden lies constantly. Biden supporters are violent. Nothing was burned with Trump's conviction. They didn't burn anything. They broke fucking windows. They chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." They stormed the fucking Capitol. And if they were fucking anything close to actually being effective, they would have actually overturned the election. The only reason that shit didn't get fucked up was because they were bad at rioting. You don't break in windows and fucking assault police officers unless you're planning on doing some stupid shit. Jesus Christ. God. How are you guys even... Do you guys ever fucking think about anything? Look at policies. I'll fucking talk to you about policies all day, dog. That's what I do. That's what I do. All day long. I thank you for calling. I am funny. Thank you, Memphis. I appreciate it. He shot a man through his cheek with a rubber bullet. Bro, nobody cares what you're pushing. No, if you were here about 45 minutes ago, Memphis, you fucking dipshit, I was telling everybody how stupid of a fucking idea that is. But no, you just come in here and you just, I have these thoughts and I just have to get them out because I'm Dog the fucking bounty hunter, bro. I have all the facts. What do you want to talk about? What would you like to talk about, Memphis? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. The Nancy Pelosi tapes. Tell me about the Nancy Pelosi tapes, Stu. Tell me all about them. We can have whatever conversation you guys want. You ain't going to come out of this looking good. I do this all the time with dipshits like you guys. This is my favorite thing to do. You guys are literally my content. I troll you with my title, and then you guys show up because you're simple-minded people. Okay? Can we see best boobs? George Santos naked in the forest is 100% the one all of you guys should be picking. 100%. Because naked George Santos would keep you company. He'd tell you stories, okay? He'd tell you stories. Look, nothing. They don't want to talk. I'll bring the facts, bro. Bring the facts. But then they don't say shit because they don't know anything. They have appeals to emotion. all day long. Up. Okay, Memphis, I'm gonna give you 1. Okay, buddy? I'm gonna give you 1. We don't talk about harming children on my chat. I don't give a shit if you no, sorry, buddy. Somebody got you. If you believe somebody has harmed a child, you fucking moron, fucking conspiracy theorist, you should take that evidence to law enforcement. You shouldn't be in my channel talking about shit like that. If you believe somebody did something, take that shit to the proper authorities. If you're a fucking bounty hunter, why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you going to the proper authorities with that? Because you don't have any evidence. And using the word pedo to describe somebody you don't like is desensitizing people in the same way that you claim people on the left are using the word racist. Because it's an appeal to emotion. And you guys you're garbage human beings to do that. To desensitize people to the word pedo is absolutely horrific. Because there are children out there that are actually being harmed by real fucking people doing it. And you guys use that insult so goddamn much that no one takes it seriously anymore. They think you're just insulting people. And that's fucking terrible. You need to Google them and watch them because last night she went on a newspaper and tried to defend herself. I'll take a look at it, Dill. Bidenomics is not failing. Let's talk about Bidenomics, Dill. So the economy as a whole is not failing in any way that is measurable by a metric that we currently use to measure our economy or any economy in the world. However, there is an answer to your question that's the correct answer, but you're making the wrong argument. Would you like to try to make that argument again, but with different words? Because if you can make the correct argument, I will talk to you about it, but I'm not going to give you the answer. Our economy is the strongest economy in the world right now. It is the #1 economy in the world with a population that's, what, 1/10 the size? Maybe a 5th the size of somebody like India or China? If you want to talk about real things, then you have to have real information. I am super happy to talk about real things instead of making fun of dumb fucking people like Memphis the Bounty Hunter, okay? Do I admit that? Yeah, of course the laptop is real, but the information on it doesn't amount to anything that's worth prosecuting a person. And why did you change the subject, Doc? Let's talk about the economy. But if you want to talk about the laptop, we can move to the laptop too. Yes, the laptop is real, and it has pictures of Hunter Biden's dong on it, Hunter Biden doing crack, and Hunter Biden's having sex with prostitutes, which is probably the same thing on your laptop. Okay, bro? Everybody fucking does shit that they shouldn't be doing, and everybody has fucking things in their life that are illegal that they hope to not be prosecuted about against one day. Like, I mean, fucking, dude, you think it's the first time I've ever seen a dick pic on somebody's laptop? Come on, man. Those are appeals to emotion. Do you agree you will pay more taxes next year? No, I don't agree with that because we don't know yet. We won't know that until next year. Our next year, the 2025 tax cuts do expire. If that's what you're insinuating, is the Donald Trump tax cuts that he gave to the middle class, lower class, across the spectrum, the middle class, lower class, upper middle class. I forgot what the threshold is, but will expire next year. But guess what doesn't expire? Corporate tax cuts, which you should be against. But you probably aren't because you think that fucking everything that Donald Trump does is good. So, do I believe that the tax cuts next year will expire? Yes. Do I believe that I will pay higher taxes? Well, that's to be seen. It all depends on whether or not legislation is passed to do something about it. I think that Joe Biden will push forth legislation to continue tax cuts. They already tried to push through tax cuts for the Child Care Act again, or Child Credit Act. The Child Tax Credit. They tried to push it through and Republicans didn't allow it because they don't want to give Joe Biden any wins in 2024 because this is exactly what we do every year during an election. We don't know whether or not the tax cuts will be there not next year. You got another one for me? Give me another one. I can do this all day. I'm a female and no, you don't have dick pics on your laptop? I guarantee if you're a female, you 100% have dick pics on your laptop because there is no way dudes haven't sent you dick pics. It also has, but they can't prove anything. There is, okay, and I'm sorry, you're a girl, so I'm going to attempt to speak to you in that manner as far as your gender goes. Like, I'm going to refer to you as, but I'm going to call you dude. I'm going to call you dog, because that's what I do. Okay, so don't get offended. There is not enough evidence if you understand how evidence works. Evidence has to reach a certain percentage to prosecute a person for a crime. I'm not making this up. This is literally the way our judicial system works. You cannot bring a person to trial without a certain percentage of evidence. That is going to be a waste of your time. So if you have something like beyond a shadow of the doubt, right? Like that's the highest level of evidence that you have to bring, and it's something like 90%. That means the jury has to believe that they are 90% sure that you committed a crime. That means that they can literally think that you are 80%, 85% most likely to have committed a crime, but that doesn't reach the threshold, so therefore they will not find you guilty. That's why you have so many juries that end up in a hung trial. So you can say that there are things on that laptop that seem to make people think that he has bad business dealings. But if those things do not equal a certain percentage of evidence, they will never be brought to trial, because it doesn't make sense to attempt to prosecute somebody for something that you cannot prove in the court of law. The preponderance of evidence must rest above that percentage. So if you want to say that it seems shady what's going on his laptop, that may be true. If you want to say the things he's doing seem wrong or underhanded, that might be true as well. Is there a law against him? You don't know that there is. That at this point, if Republicans had enough evidence to put Joe Biden on trial and impeach him, they would have 100% done it. This is an election year, and it is the perfect time to put Joe Biden on trial to make it look as though they don't even need to prove that he did anything wrong. If they had enough evidence just to make it look like he did something shady right now, the Republicans would have put him on trial. But they don't, and so they won't. And that makes no sense. You're assuming I think corporations should be... No, I'm assuming that you should think that. Not that you do think that. I'm assuming that you should think that. Yeah, no, you're missing the joke about that, dude. Are you missing the joke that that's what dudes do? That's literally what fucking dudes do. They may have sent them, but I did not save them on my... That's what I'm saying, dude. Jesus Christ. Some of this shit's just jokes, dude. Come on. It's about balance. It's about balance. Let's see. Why are you obsessed with Hunter Biden? Yeah, and that's another point. Why are you guys obsessed with Hunter Biden? Like, to be honest with you, let's talk real about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden lost his mom in a car crash. Hunter Biden lost his sibling in a car crash. Hunter Biden lost his brother to cancer. Hunter Biden got addicted to crack cocaine. Hunter Biden has fucked up some stuff. And just like many addicts, he's also fucked up things in other people's lives. But literally when he was found guilty, he hugged his lawyer and told him he did the best he could. Because he knows he fucked up. That is something that is completely missing from Donald Trump and everybody in his family. And yet you guys shit on Hunter Biden for having pictures of his dong, or pictures of him with prostitutes, or smoking crack cocaine. That's insanity that you guys are this obsessed with a person that had that shitty of a life. Yet you look at somebody like Don Jr. or Donald Trump and you think of them as being the epitome of what is good in this world. That's insane to me. And it makes no sense at all. You're a bit behind. You're probably a bit behind, dude. I said that a while ago. Yeah, no, he's on trial in California for those taxes, right, dude? You do know that he is still going to trial in California over those taxes. This is my thing. You guys can say that all you want, but then when he is actually prosecuted for these things, like just happened, you have to give credit where credit is due, and you do not. You do not give credit when Joe Biden says, "I will not pardon my son." We're talking about, there goes fuck Joe Biden. FJP! They figured out how to get you in. Good job. Good job, buddy. Yeah, you're back. We can see you now, FJB. You're back. You can say something feels shady. You can say you think something is wrong. But that is not how our judicial system works, and you shouldn't want it to work that way. Because if you were to be put on trial for something, it should never, ever be because somebody thought you did something or felt like you did something. It's just like any kind of scientific question. Every scientific question starts with a hypothetical. Every criminal investigation starts with I think or I feel, and then it works its way forward. Just like the scientific method, you want to then gather evidence in support of your argument. But the last thing that you would ever want is that anybody could put anybody on trial without evidence that they did something wrong. So even if you feel like Joe Biden is shady, even if you think that Joe Biden has done things that are corrupt, if the evidence does not exist to prosecute him, you should not be in support of him being put on trial. Because just like Donald Trump keeps saying, if they do it to me, they can do it to you, the fucking projection is always real. If they can do that to Joe Biden and put him on trial with zero evidence, then they can do the same thing to you. By the way, if you did the things that Donald Trump did, yes, they can put you on trial because Donald Trump is a walking, talking witness against himself. Not missing the joke. I wasn't talking to you about saving. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sometimes I miss who you guys are talking to. So I don't care about stuff about Hunter Biden. There's stuff on his laptop that shows that Joe, but you don't. There is nothing at this point that can be proven, dude. Tell me why Republicans would not have already prosecuted Joe Biden during an election year. They don't even need to find him guilty to impeach him. They have the House. They literally have the House, dude. During Donald Trump's presidency, when he was impeached, who had the House? Democrats had the House, correct? They put him on trial and they found him guilty because they had the numbers to do so. When it went to the Senate, it failed because the Senate was controlled by Republicans. At this point, the Republicans could do the exact same thing, but they don't do it. If you want the answer as to why they don't do that, it's because Republicans don't have enough evidence to even convince simple-minded, aggressively gullible MAGA supporters that they have enough on him to impeach him. That should stand out to you. That should make you say, yes, I feel he does shady shit. Yes, I think that he's done something that's corrupt. But can they prove it? It seems as though there's no evidence on that laptop that can possibly provide them with a guilty verdict. Or they would have done it. The Democrats don't have control of the House. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All right, we got to watch the rest of the video. But thank you for talking. This is what you should be doing, dude. Don't be Memphis. Don't come on here and insult me, and then when I insult you back, get mad. I like you say you're not a snowflake. I like that, dude. I like that. Do I think that he's fit to be president, or do you think someone else is running the show? I do not think someone else is running. Well, okay. Actually, hold on. I was going to play this video, too, and you stopped me with a good question. Do I think that Joe Biden is fit? Yes, I do believe that Joe Biden is fit. And I'm going to say this because I'm willing to bet you don't watch speeches with Joe Biden. I'm willing to bet you're going to say you do because you watched one. But then you're using the evidence of nothing but 15 and 10-second clips of Joe Biden stuttering or having pause moments, which they've already proven through doing it to Trump that you can do the exact same thing to anybody. You could do that shit to me. Do I think that Joe Biden is fit? Let's start there first. Yes, I do believe he's fit, and I do believe he's passed legislation that is incredibly impactful for the future generations of America. Things like the CHIPS and Science Act, things like the Infrastructure Act, things like the American Recovery Act, things like the Bipartisan Legislation Act, things like forgiving college debt for people across the country, things like improving the workforce and continuing to create jobs, Yes. Did those jobs come back because of the pandemic? Yeah, they did. But would they have came back if he would have been a shitty president? No, they wouldn't have. He would have failed. The economy would have failed. Everything would have fucking failed. But the Infrastructure Act, the Inflation Reduction Act helped provide people with the reasoning for things like PPP acts. Like, there's so many things that he's done that you guys don't know anything about, and then you make an appeal to emotion that he's old. He is fucking old. And I've said this before, if you brought me a candidate on the Democratic side that had all the same legislation and policy values as Joe Biden, that was fucking 45, that was energetic, that didn't stutter, sure, yeah. But like I said, that's like asking to replace an old baseball player that still hits 55, 60 home runs. Would it be better to have a guy that can get steals and has a fucking cannon of an arm from the outfield? Yeah, of course it would be. But do I want to fucking dump the guy that's hitting 55 home runs just because he's old? No, I don't. Okay, now let's get to the second part. You said, do I think that he's the one running the government? No, actually I don't. I think that Joe Biden is a competent manager. And that's what you should have as a president of the United States. Up until Up until Franklin Pierce. Up until Franklin Pierce, presidents were not supposed to be a jack of all trades. Up until Franklin Pierce, presidents were seen as managers that put other people in charge of things that would then take care of administration and would put forth ideas. Joe Biden has done a great job of allowing people to push forth legislation like Chuck Schumer. The Chips and Science Act comes from Chuck Schumer. I'm pretty sure the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act came from multiple people on both sides of the aisle. That's what a president is supposed to do. As I said earlier, are they two wings of the same bird? Yes, they are two wings of the same bird. And if they're not working in concert, then the bird flies all fucked up. So a Bipartisan Infrastructure Act just is like one of the best examples of why Joe Biden's a good president. Because he reached across the aisle, he got people on the right to do things. That's something that fucking Donald Trump was incapable of doing in all 4 of his years. He claimed he was going to get an Infrastructure Act passed. He never got it passed. The only thing that he passed that was of any real value to anybody were tax cuts. And those tax cuts were disproportionate in advantage to ultra-wealthy corporations. And none of that money trickles down. It only trickles up. It only trickles up. So do I think that Joe Biden is the one running the fucking government? No. Do I think that Joe Biden or Donald Trump should be the one? That should be the question. Do I think they should be running it? No. My only hope when Donald Trump became president, and you can ask my wife, she's in chat, whether or not I fucking said this shit, she'll tell you if I'm a liar, is I said, well, everybody thinks he's a businessman. Maybe he'll put people in the right places. And you know what he did? He put General Mattis in charge of what was he, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense. I was like, fuck yeah, Mad Dog Mattis. He's both a great general, but he's also really good at being a great fucking negotiator. Like he has the name Mad Dog Mattis, but that's a bit of a misnomer. He's actually a very good negotiator. He doesn't want to go to war. I was like, good fucking job. He brought Elon in for the EPA. I was like, all right, there we go. He even talked about having Andrew Yang come in and talk about the economy. And you know what he did in 2 years? He fired all of them or they all quit because he's not a good boss. He's a shitty boss. He's not a good businessman. He's never been a good businessman. He uses bankruptcy he runs his buildings into the ground to get bankruptcy from them, to then use that to get a better loan for himself. He literally stood on stage and people applauded him telling them that he cheats the tax code system. Did he fix the tax code system? Because if he had gotten up there and told you all, I know how to fucking fix the tax code system because I use the tax code system, which is what he said, and then he went through and fixed the tax code system, I'd be like, good job. That's actually fucking A. Takes a thief to catch a thief. But did he do it? No. In fact, he increased how much fucking rich people can leave to their inheritance, or leave inheritance to their children that they don't get taxed on. He increased that. He doubled it. He made rich people richer. If he would have fought antitrust like Joe Biden has, If he would have sued Google, sued Meta, sued Amazon, sued fucking Kroger to stop them from merging or from doing the shitty things that they do in antitrust laws, I would have been all for Donald Trump. He didn't. Joe Biden did. Joe Biden's administration did. What did Donald Trump do? Donald Trump stopped CNN from merging, a fucking news media outlet that he hates, and he allowed Fox to merge with Disney and make Warren Buffett billions of dollars. Oh, sorry, Warren Buffett. I'm sorry, Warren Buffett. I love Warren Buffett. Rupert Murdoch, billions of dollars wealthier. So do you guys? So was that comprehensive enough? Was that comprehensive enough for you? Dude, can you admit that I know what the fuck I'm talking about? Because that's you guys' biggest problem, is admitting when you're wrong. Admitting that when you come into my chat, you can't give props. You can't say, you know what? Actually, it sounds like you might know what you're talking about. Because you guys are just as afraid as the left was to say that Joe Biden was old. You want me to say Joe Biden is old? Joe Biden is old. But the fucking dude from Home Depot is like 97. Okay? He's still doing his job. As long as he does his job, I'm going to vote for him. Do you agree with what Biden has done to our military by those that he put in power? See, this is another like appeal to emotion, though, because I know what your point is. Let me steel man your point for you, do. Your point is that he has put in transgender 4-star. He's created the first transgender 4-star general, which has weakened our army overall. It's created the diversity throughout our army is now weakening us and making us soft. That is a misunderstanding of our military, and being that my entire family is military, being that I've read about Napoleon, I've read about Julius Caesar, I've read about George Washington, I've read about U.S. Grant, I've read about Alexander the Great. I can tell you have a misunderstanding of what the military is, and diversity within the military is actually really important. Really important. Because what you don't know about others is what can end in you fucking up and losing. So the reason I let you guys come into my chat, the reason I talk to you guys, is because I want to know what you guys think. I want to be prepared for your talking points. I want to be challenged about the things that I might be wrong about. And you don't have that without diversity. Do I think that a person that is transgender, that has already, before they came out as transgender, already been promoted to the highest levels of the military, is in some way weakening or softening the military? That just doesn't make logical sense. Because if they were an onus, if they were a problem for the military, they would have never risen to those places in the military before they came out of the closet. That is just verifiably untrue. And to say that our military is getting softer is also a misunderstanding of what our military is. Do you know that the United States of America damn near lost World War II? Do you know that America fucked up in Vietnam and allowed fucking a ass ton of our people to die for almost no reason at all? Do you know that America as a whole has never actually been the juggernaut that we stand up and tell people we are, because we're only 250 years old? We're still learning. That's part of being in this shit, is recognizing that I love the military. I don't like seeing the military used, but I love the military and I support the military because I think we need to have a strong military for defense reasons. But I'm not going to sit here and act like our military has been some kind of fucking crazy juggernaut that just runs over everybody. No, I literally have looked into this shit. In the Battle of the Midway, if it wasn't for the fact that our fucking airplanes didn't accidentally come upon the Japanese fucking super carriers, or sorry, they weren't super carriers back then, the aircraft carriers, we would have never won that. They were almost out of gasoline. That fucking close to losing that battle, which was a turning point. But you probably don't know that. Your dad was a Joint Chiefs and did a few terms there. He was hand-selected by Colin Powell, so good. Then you should know these things. And you should know that what you're doing is an appeal to emotion. My grandfather spent over 30 years in the military. He was an Army lifer. Okay? Almost everybody in my family has done more than 6 years. My uncle was a Marine. My aunt was in the Navy. My uncle was in the Navy. My mom's whole family was in the Navy. I would have joined the Air Force, but I was a bad fucking kid, and I got kicked out of the Air Force ROTC. My point is my grandpa would have told you, when you're in the trenches, you don't see color, you don't see gender, you don't see age, you don't see sexuality. All you see is brothers and sisters. That's it. Because when you're in the fucking trenches, nothing else matters but supporting the person next to you. That's it. So if your father, or your uncle or whoever, then you should know better. You should know better. There's no way that okay, all right. Then I was wrong, dude. I was wrong. Not the trans issue at all. I think you're a bit behind me because you're answering things I said like 5 minutes ago. What about forcing Russia's hand along with others about moving NATO closer? Well, that's a good question, actually, you do. So ask yourself this. If we don't do that, what happens? So you have to believe that there's a good outcome, a bad outcome, and a worse outcome, right? Like, so a good outcome would be potentially to negotiate in a way to keep Russia from invading Ukraine, right? That would be quite possibly the best outcome. We negotiate in some way, which is what you guys claim Trump would do, which I think is absolute bullshit, but we'd have to get to that in a different point. So your good outcome is we negotiate our way out of Russia invading Ukraine. It's a very unlikely thing that's happening. So a bad outcome is to say we're willing to allow Ukraine to join NATO, as is their right. That is their right to join NATO. It's not our right to tell them they can't join NATO. And then we, by proxy, have to supply them with older equipment and some money, right? Which we were doing, by the way, in Donald Trump's presidency as well in 2017 when they were fighting insurgents on the west side, which if you don't think that that was Russia, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, and the worst outcome, though, the worst outcome could be to allow Russia to take land just like they did with Crimea, just like they did with Georgia, without any fight at all, to allow them to then push into Poland, possibly, and take it as well. The guy who created my Discord is a Polish Special Forces, or former Polish Special Forces, and literally has shown me the pictures from his fucking battalion or whatever. So I've talked to him about this. Not at length. I'm not making any claims to that. Just very, very sparsely. The worst outcome, in my opinion, was to not stand up to Putin. Just like the worst outcome, in my opinion, is that if we don't stand up to him, then what does China think about what they can do for Taiwan or do with Taiwan? If they chose to go into Taiwan right now, we would be forced into a third proxy war. We'd also have semiconductor production cut off, which we learned during COVID. We learned during COVID that if we lose semiconductors, we lose almost everything. And that's why the Chips and Science Act is such a huge piece of legislation. Is because all of that coming back to America potentially over the next 10 years as AI ramps up, we can still create the biggest, baddest, and best missiles in the world, the hypersonic missiles currently, because we have the semiconductor production. But if China invades Taiwan, we don't have those high-end semiconductors anymore because they produce over 90% of them. Here in America, we produce something like 13 or 16% of all semiconductors, and none of them are high-end. However, we do create the planning for them here in America. We draft the plans here, and then we give them to people in Taiwan who are highly specialized. But if we let Putin run through Ukraine and China goes, oh, that's right, we don't have to worry about them. They ain't going to do shit. They didn't do shit about Ukraine. They ain't going to do shit about Taiwan. Then China takes Taiwan. We have no semiconductor production. China owns our semiconductor production. That doesn't sound like a winning strategy to me. That sounds like the worst possible scenario. We would shit if China wanted to put a base in Mexico. Oh, of course. No, do. I hope you're not misunderstanding something. I do believe we provoked Russia. We promised not to move NATO closer, and we kept instigating Russia. But that is the game. That is the game. We can sit here and we can cut hairs. We can split hairs on whether or not, it's better or not to have instigated Russia But that is what America does because they are our competition. I don't look at people as our enemies. I look at people as our competition on the global stage. At this point, if you want to believe that we went into Ukraine strictly because we're being humanitarian, I'm not going to support that. I'm going to support your point of view, Dill. And that is that we did it for strategic reasons, as we do everything for strategic reasons. As we are currently putting 100% tariffs on EV vehicles coming into Mexico because China wants to put down a company in Mexico to run EVs across the border. Yeah. But this is the thing is, this is why I'm not left, this is why I'm not right. I do lean hard left, and I would say most of my values are very much on the liberal spectrum. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that I believe something because somebody in the group of people that you believe I should be a part of believes that. I don't. I do believe that we went into Ukraine, not for humanitarian reasons. Probably a little bit. I would say there's, 20%. Some of us give a shit. I think that's important. I give a shit. I hope, I know quite a bit about the Cold War in Ukraine and what actually has fucking happened to them in their history with Russia and why they hate Russia. Ukrainians cannibalized each other during the gulags because the Russians took all their fucking food. Ukrainians hate Russia. Do I want to stand back and watch a group of people be murdered by somebody like Putin? No, of course fucking not. But at the same time, do I also understand that governments do things for reasons that aren't just humanitarian, that are logistical, that do make sense on a global competition stage? Of course, and telling yourself anything different, you're lying to your fucking self. You also have to look at things like what's going on in Israel and Gaza. Do I think that it's fucking horrific what's going on in Gaza? Yes, I do. You got to be able to hold both fucking ideals in your head. Is Israel an ally of America that we have been supporting for God knows how long, that we are in bed with when it comes to economics, when it comes to technology, when it comes to military? All of those answers are yes, 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 and yes. Do we have the ability right now to say to somebody like Israel that we're not going to help them in the conflict in Hamas? No, we don't. We don't. But is it fucking horrific what is happening in Gaza? Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not smart enough to know the fucking answer, and that's why I don't talk about it. I don't know how to hold those two thoughts at the same time and come up with the answer to the conflict. That's why there's people that fucking spend their entire lives studying this shit, and those are the people that should be listened to, not an angry ginger on fucking YouTube. You know what I'm saying? All right, have I talked enough? I'm sure the rest of the chat's like, shut the fuck up, Ginger. I haven't been reading chat. I'm sure you guys are telling me shut up. Do you hear what I'm saying, though, Dill? Can you agree that making appeals to emotion aren't necessary here? That saying that Joe Biden is old and he's senile and he's got dementia and all this other bullshit is just hyperbolic? Because when you look, so I've been in management for 20 years. When I review a person, I don't review them on their age. I don't review them on their gender, their sexuality. I don't discriminate against them as a person, right? I review them based off their job performance. My personal grade for Joe Biden and his job performance is somewhere in the B minus area, because there are a lot of things that I would like to see him push harder on. There are a lot of things that potentially I disagree with. The death of children is fucking a very hard thing. I don't even know what to say. I don't have words. I don't have words for that shit, man. But that's a passing grade. And if we look at what Donald Trump did on his way out the door, and what Donald Trump really did throughout his 4 years, and I give Donald Trump credit for some of this stuff, but he's a C- at best, possibly a D. If you really want to get into his leadership and what he's did, if I'm grading him on his leadership and shit, that's like an F. He's a horrible leader. He's a really good cult leader. He's a really bad business manager. All right, I see you guys aren't arguing with me anymore. You guys aren't arguing with me anymore. So we're gonna play the video now. You're not arguing.
Entering the United States of America.
You can argue amongst yourselves.
He banned people from 7 different countries.
But that's literally what he said.
Yeah. I'd have
But thank
to see
you for
that.
the conversation,
I'd study
dude.
these
Thank you
things.
for the
And
conversation.
He banned people.
He said it.
Like, for
He said it after the Paris shooting.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't ban all Muslims. He banned people from 7.
But he did call that. So that is on the basis of religion.
No, he did not. He banned.
He did though.
Okay. I'd like to see the quote, but
Should we play it right now?
Donald J.
So this is the funny part. This is what I'm saying is when confronted with the evidence, you have to say, I was wrong. I said that her opinion was most likely to do with the transgender person being elevated. She said it wasn't. I say I'm wrong. I accept that. I could sit up here and go, yeah, whatever. I bet it is. And I could play all these fucking games, but I don't because it's not necessary. It's not helpful. It doesn't advance the conversation. Instead, I take it and I go, thank you for adding to the conversation. And thank you for telling me when I'm wrong. Because that's important. We should know when we're wrong. The President of the United States should know when he's wrong. And so when Joe Biden does something that the American people disagree with it, they should make their voice heard. But the last thing that they should do is choose somebody that is going to do a much worse job. I literally heard Donald Trump say during his tenure earlier today while researching videos in an interview, I love Israel and I will support Israel in everything that they do. No matter what they need, I will give it to them. If you think that's the attitude that's going to stop what's happening in Israel and Gaza right now, I've got some bad news for you.
He said it after the Paris shooting.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't ban all Muslims. He banned people from 7.
But he did call that. So that is on the basis of religion.
He did not. He banned.
He did
for
though.
sure.
He did though.
Okay.
It's just when people come in here and they insult me, I just
should we
insult them
play it
back.
right now?
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Now do you believe me?
Why can't he show us? Show us a piece of real evidence.
I that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, we were with him in Missouri. He put out what he put out, and we just go with our own convictions, I guess.
So this is a picture
that just doesn't make sense.
Mike Lindell and John F. Kennedy Jr. And so what's the evidence here that you see?
Well, the evidence is we're going to find out that people had to play certain roles to get the truth out to people, and we're going to find out that we're watching a movie, and evil has been taken down.
And if you didn't hear me when I was talking to Memphis the Bounty Hunter, okay? Memphis the Bounty Hunter. If you didn't hear what I was saying to Memphis there, this channel isn't. I'm not here to just hate every conservative. I have some conservative values. I have discussions with conservatives. I was just over on Counterpoint's fucking stream the other day talking to conservatives in his chat. I got the same welcome that I get from conservatives coming into my chat here. And by the time I left that chat, those fuckers were talking to me too. Okay? This channel has been dedicated to, since the very beginning of this channel, to making fun of specifically the crazy fucking Trump supporters. Because I have family members that have voted for Trump. They have reasons that I don't agree with, but they don't say crazy shit like Joe Biden is a skin suit. They don't say that JFK Jr. is coming back from the dead. And you guys are doing yourself, and I'm not saying you're a Trump supporter, you could just be a conservative for all I know. You guys are doing yourself a disservice by not speaking out and saying, these people don't represent me. You guys are doing yourself a disservice by staying quiet when it comes to this stuff. And literally, I just watched this. If you ever join my Discord, you can join my Discord. There's a video with counterpoints and like 5 or 6 other conservatives that are in that video. And the best thing they could come up with, the Trump supporters, that the conservatives should support Donald Trump was, well, if you don't like him that much, you should vote for him because then he'll leave office after this one. And if he doesn't, then he'll keep running and keep losing for all of the rest of his life. If that's the best argument that you can come up with for why to vote for a person, then you shouldn't vote for that person. You should speak out against that person. You should stand up and say, I'm not going to let the fucking lunatics take over the asylum. These clowns don't get to run the circus. And I've tried to appeal to you guys forever. That's why you guys come in my chat. I don't ban you. Every once in a while, a couple of my mods get a little bit crazy. Because you guys drive them nuts because they don't have the patience for this shit that I do. But the reason I allow you guys in my chat, the reason I talk to you guys is because I do believe there are people out there that are still sane in the conservative party. And I actually kind of fucking feel empathy for you. I look at you guys and I go, I get it. You think Joe Biden's this bad guy, but I think a lot of it is because you've chosen to put a wall between you and the truth of what he's actually accomplished. And I don't think you did that. I think Republicans and Democrats of old did that. I think Republicans and Democrats have been telling each other forever, you can't say the Democrats did anything good. You can't say the Republicans did anything good. And it's created a wall where you're not allowed to do that anymore. And unfortunately, due to the advent of the internet, that has polarized people to the fucking nines. And now you're in a predicament in the conservative party where there's literally people in your own party walking around setting fires to everything that you fucking love, everything that you built with your own two fucking hands, everything your father and your father's father built. And they're walking around, they're lighting all of that shit on fire. And you feel like you can't put any of those fires out because if you do, you have to admit shit's on fire. So I have empathy for you. Just so you know.
So why would John F. Kennedy Jr. fake his own death and then assume the identity of a pillow salesman?
Well, you have to ask yourself, what was he running for? He was running for a seat in New York. Who won that seat?
No, I didn't know this one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I just want to go back to the pillow salesman thing. Why?
Yeah, I wanted
did he
to go back to
assume
the pillow
identity
salesman.
of
I couldn't tell you why the movie was played the way it was, but I know that we're trying to wake up the world and to show that if they take an everyday Joe who's out there working.
Dude, every time somebody says that, I ask them, like, show me them. The only thing that they show me the only thing they show me is young kids saying things about either the Israel-Hamas conflict. That it's like, yeah, they need to be better educated. Or people saying things like conservatives taking out of context and saying, liberals think that men can have babies. No one believes that. You're taking the words of a transgender person that's saying that they're transitioning from a biological female into a trans male. And yes, they still have the reproductive organs to do so. And this is a fucking deep conversation that involves brain anatomy and biological differences and gray matter and all these other things. And they try to boil it down to liberals think men can have babies. And that is the most disingenuous, dishonest, fucked up way to go about an argument that you possibly can. I never, ever get videos from the right that actually prove that there are people in mass. I'm not saying one video, two videos. I'm talking about in mass, like there are on Trump supporters level. There just isn't. You might be able to show me one. You might be able to show me 2 or 5. I can show you hundreds or thousands of videos, long-form videos. We're not talking about 15-second TikTok clips taking people out of context. We're talking about long-form videos of 5-minute, 10-minute interviews where these people say the craziest shit possible. And if you need any more proof of that, look at the people in your party that are leading the sheep. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Look at Lauren Boebert. Look at any of these people like Trump and at Laura Loomer, fucking Steven Crowder. Any of these people, and tell me that they are not grifting off the aggressively gullible people that follow them. And then look at somebody like Jamie Raskin. Look at somebody like Katie Porter. Look at somebody like Hakeem Jeffries. And tell me that those are the same people. They're not. It's just not. Getting back to the Constitution thing is meh for me. Because it's a 250-year-old document that needs updating. I love our Constitution. It's the foundation for everything we have in our society today, and I appreciate the shit out of it. But that doesn't mean it isn't time for it to be updated. Some shit needs to be updated. Older people saying Trump colluded with Russia. But hold on. Trump did collude with Russia. If you've read the Mueller report, you know that. Have you read the Mueller report, Do? And I don't mean that you saw some blurbs or heard a talking head talk about it, because I've read the Mueller report. You do understand that 34 indictments were carried forward on people in the Mueller report. There was 7 convictions and a guilty found at trial on Roger Stone. You do understand that Donald Trump did sit in a meeting with Russians. You do understand that Donald Trump's own Attorney General, William Barr, spotted 10 times that Donald Trump obstructed justice. And Mueller said in the report that if Donald Trump was not a sitting president, that he would have put him on trial for it. Therefore, Russian interference. Look, I know you guys like to use the semantics game of colluding versus interference. And that's something that Donald Trump loves to do. It's called indirect speech. It's being very direct by being indirect. If you know that somebody's interfering in an election, if you know that people are doing shit that they shouldn't be doing to fuck up your opponent, which he did in Hillary Clinton's emails, know that was going to happen, then that is collusion. You can sit here and say he didn't go to them and say, "Oh, well, yeah, you guys should do that shit. Go for it." But if I come to you and I go, "I'm thinking about a murder for hire plot where we take out your husband," and you go, "Well, I'm not really for that, but I mean, if it happened, it happened," and then I carried that out. You knew about that shit. Now you're using them "we mess with other countries" excuse. Come on, dude. This is all playbook. You got to get out of the playbook if you want to do this. Okay, you want to go that route. We mess with other countries. I've already covered that topic, dude. We are in a global competition with other countries at all times. Even our own allies. We're in a global competition with these people. Have some of the things we've done been inhumanitarian? 1,000%. Have some of them actually been in the negative for America as far as their interest goes? 100%. Do I ever believe that regardless of whether or not Trump or Biden's involved, Russia or China will ever stop interfering in our elections? No, of course not. Because we're in a global competition with every one of these countries. Using the argument that we have interfered with other elections to give grace to Donald Trump for being aware of those things is not an argument. That's not an argument. If you told me today that Joe Biden was aware of Russia interfering with Donald Trump's election, then I would be like, that doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't allow that. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't allow things to happen from other countries to take out our opponents. Now, the next place you're going to is the Twitter files. I'm talking about the dossier and Hillary Clinton paying for it, but she was not held to account. Once again, what is the level of evidence, Do? What is the level of evidence? Do you understand the level of evidence that is necessary? Do you understand the law that she would have been prosecuted under? This is the problem with everybody being what my boss calls instant fucking experts, IFEs. Is that we all feel like we need to be experts on all of these different things. But when you talk about our judicial system, you need to get into the gnat's ass of what you're talking about. You need to talk about what is the law she would have been prosecuted under? What is the level of evidence? Is it a jury trial? Is it a bench trial? Is it something that has to be indicted? Do they have to go through a grand jury to decide to indict her, and then a grand jury once they put her on trial? I think there's actually 3 grand trials. These are more I think and I feel statements. I tell this to my employees, and I tell this to everybody I meet in life. If you continue to make I think and I feel statements, then you're probably not correct. a I think or I feel statement is where you start your hypothesis, whether it's in a scientific method or whether it's putting somebody on trial through a criminal investigation. You start with an inkling or an intuition as to what you think is happening, and then you must gather evidence. But you don't get to gather evidence that you feel is appropriate. You have to gather evidence that the judicial system finds to be appropriate. As you notice, at no point am I making any kind of appeal to emotion. I'm not telling you, dude, it's not right because this, or using whataboutism. I'm telling you that if you choose to go this route, then you must play by the rules. Because that's what's appropriate. That's what everybody should want to do. She was fined $8,000, that was it, but if Trump did what she did, okay, you're talking about her, are you talking about her buying the house in New York? Is that what you're talking about currently? Hillary Clinton? Because once again, you guys gish gallop too. You guys go all over the place. There's no focus. You're gish galloping. You just throw everything at me that you possibly can. But it's okay. I can keep up. It's all right. Are you talking about the New York case? You gotta help me out on this one because I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Working hard with the pillow company, and they're willing to take him down because of his political beliefs. They'll do it to you, and they'll do it to me, and they'll do it to him.
So John F. Kennedy Jr. is actually Mike Lindell.
We'll find out. We'll find out the truth.
Have you asked Mike Lindell about this?
No.
Okay, and without using whataboutism, can you definitively say in this chat, which is a safe space for you to do this, come on, you're not a bunch of liberals. No one's going to rat you out to the conservatives that you know. Can you say without using whataboutism that this person right here is literally mentally ill? That the things that they believe are verifiably untrue? Can you do that for me? Let's find a middle ground.
Oh.
Hey, when he gets here, can we go ask him?
No.
What do you say to people who think that there are too many mass shootings in the United States of America?
Yeah, Bucket's already arguing my argument for me.
It's not the people that own the guns.
I love seeing you guys argue the arguments.
What if the idiots that pull the trigger own the guns?
Hey, are you an idiot?
But should we make sure that the people who are idiots
make sure of that?
You gotta have stricter gun laws.
Stricter gun laws.
Do you think
you don't have to have an IQ test to have a gun?
You do have to test to take a test to drive a car.
Test to drive a car. You need to learn how to drive it safely to be able to drive it.
Did your mama teach you how to drive a car?
She did, actually, yeah.
Actually, she did. Yeah. And how good a driver are you?
I'm a great driver.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why? What?
I'll look more into that, That one's a little bit different for me. And here's the thing. Once again, at no point am I saying any of these people are innocent of anything that you are accusing them of. I'm not saying that at any point. So, like, for instance, in Donald Trump's hush money trial, which was not a hush money trial, but they keep calling it that, so I'm just going to keep calling it so that way people understand what I'm talking about. In Donald Trump's hush money trial, they had to find him. I want to say it was like 80%. I want to say the level of evidence had to be beyond a doubt or beyond a shadow of doubt. I believe it wasn't the highest tier, but it was like the second highest tier. He could have been found 60% guilty. He could have been found 70% guilty, and that still wouldn't have been a guilty verdict. So when people say that a person was found or they were acquitted, that does not mean that they are innocent of the things that they did. That means that they were not found guilty to the percentage that is necessary to have a guilty verdict. That means they could have done some of the things, they could have done all of the things, but they weren't convinced of that. There's a lot that goes into that. So when I say that I will look into what you're talking about, I want you to understand at no point am I going to sit here and defend anything that I don't know something about. So I'm going to take you at face value, what you're saying without even knowing you, having met you half an hour, 45 minutes ago, that you're being good faith and that you have researched this yourself. Now that's a hell of a leap of faith for me because I literally watch videos of people fucking talking about JFK Jr. is Mike Pillow, okay? It takes a lot for me to give anybody that trust. I want you to know that. But I'm going to take it at face value. I'm going to believe that you're going good faith on this. And at some point, I will look into that and see if I can determine what I believe about that. But that does not in any way defend anybody of anything. Because for all I know, they've already looked into all this information and determined that there's not enough evidence to prosecute her. I mean, she got an $8,000 fine, so that most likely means that they found something, but not enough to prosecute in that manner. It's a lot like what happened with the civil trial against Donald Trump with sexual abuse, where it was just more likely than not that it happened. That's a 51% or more evidence that it more likely than not happened because it was a civil case. So in that area, Donald Trump was more likely than not to have done that. If this was a civil case where she was fined $8,000, which most likely it was, because most of the time in criminal cases, you're going to get something other than a fine, but maybe it was a criminal case. It was most likely a civil case, and it's much easier to prove. Thus, they get fined a lot easier. But I need to look into it. I'm kind of speaking out of my ass right now.
What are you talking about?
Well,
thank you, dude.
You're any
That's
good at shooting
all
a
I'm
gun.
asking for.
What does one thing have to do with the other? I'm confused.
Because you took a test, and you think you're smart enough because you took a test.
Did you pass a driver's test to drive?
Fuck no.
Okay, first of all, that's illegal. The party of law and order sometimes forgets that they're the party of law and order. But what this guy is missing here is that tests aren't meant to stop you from being able to do something. Tests are the lowest bar that we can give you to make sure that you are a functional human in society to allow you to do these things. It's a lot like when I put somebody in the closer role at a grocery store. The reports that we run could be ran by a 14-year-old. They need the most basic level of math to do them. But if you can't do that, you don't get to be a closer. You don't get the raise. You don't get the responsibility. It's not like it's some kind of crazy bar that you have to clear. It is literally just a boundary to make sure the complete fucking idiots aren't driving or shooting a gun. And that's why it shouldn't be seen as some crazy ideology to have to take a test to get a firearm or provide fucking documentation to show that you should own one.
Woods.
But you had to get a driver's license. You had to get a driver's license, right?
For what?
To drive a car.
Why do you need a driver's license to drive a car? Do you know how to drive a car?
You have to have one to drive a car, though. That's the law.
Suggestion.
It's not a
You
suggestion.
have to have a driver's license to drive a car.
Driver's license to vote?
You have to have a driver's license to
Yes.
drive a car.
No,
to vote?
No, you do. So this is a misunderstanding too. He doesn't even know his own argument. This is what drives me fucking nuts is they don't know their own argument. Speaking from the state of California, when you register to vote, you have to provide a copy of your ID. That copy is then on file. I can then vote from my house. Yes, because it is sent to my home, my absentee ballot. So the argument that all of these people are attempting to make but don't know it because they're only regurgitating shit that they heard on Fox News or other stations is that you don't have to prove your identity once you've registered. But no, an immigrant cannot vote. There is no state in the United States that allows currently, I'm not saying that no one's pushed for legislation, but currently there is no state in the United States that allows an immigrant that is not a citizen of the United States, that's important, to vote. If you don't believe me, you can look that shit up. Thanks, Stu. Come back. Have talks with people. It's all about conversation. But like you said, it's about having good conversation. The people that come in here and insult me get insulted back because I'm not a pushover. I'm not your average liberal. I don't even think you could really term me as just being a liberal. But I'm not your average left-leaning person. No one's going to come into my chat and push me around and call me names or insult me. I will do that right back to you. I'm that guy. I grew up in a trailer park. Thank you for being here, dude. I appreciate the conversation. You got a question. What do you got, FJB? Let's hear it real quick because I'm getting close to time. Let's hear it. FJB. I'm going to play the rest of this while
What
we're
does that
doing
question have to do with what we're talking about?
Because you say I got to have a driver's license for something that. If
Yeah,
I
they
don't
check
need
my
one to vote,
signature
I don't
too.
need one
Yeah,
to drive.
as well, Nancy. I mean,
It's called a
just to
driver's
begin, I have
license.
to
Is
even
this
show
part
my
of any
driver's license.
group?
Okay,
It is
FJB.
part of the Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal. Dharma
Best
means the
question of
function
the
of the
night.
soul. So all religions, all wisdom traditions have that as the underlying principle that we're all spiritual by nature.
And is this the Hare Krishna or
It is a book that it's published by the Bhaktivedanta Book
Love
Trust,
you too,
which is the
FJB.
publishing arm
Love
of the
you
Hare
too.
Krishnas. Repeat after me, you and your buddy here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
One more round. Hare
That's
Rama.
an easy one.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. You believe Donald Trump was a great
All right.
commander-in-chief, JFK Sr. is alive, and the world is flat.
Yes, I do.
Amazing. Man, we didn't get to any videos tonight. I just talked like a fucking lunatic up here for 2 hours. Let's see what we got going on here. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support me, you can donate through the PayPal link. You can join the Angry Ginger Army and become a soulless ginger along with me and take people's souls and get freckles for only 10 cents a day or $3 by going to my channel, clicking join, and supporting me in that manner. I just wanted to say, you know, I appreciate you guys. Memphis, you're still watching. No hard feelings. Dog the Bounty Hunter. I need me a famous bounty hunter. I don't know if any army is complete without a right-leaning aggro Trump supporter bounty hunter. Anyways, yeah, you guys know the spiel. The live streams are Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 5 p.m. I want to do a science stream. We're gonna do one for Tamika. I want to do a science stream where we watch The Righteous Mind with Jonathan Haidt. We might do that this weekend. What's the other thing? I'll have to go back and look at the beginning of this video, but I said something else that I wanted to watch that I thought was crazy. But a little more science-minded kind of stuff. So Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 5 p.m. for live streams. Every Friday, the MAGA Meltdown, where we watch the craziest, weirdest, funniest videos in the MAGA-verse, and we laugh at all of them. There's a Pride video I put out with Jordan Klepper's clips of him doing the interview with Eureka, the pastor from Eureka. If you guys want to go watch that, please click it, like it, comment on it. I think it's got like 60,000 views right now. It's doing really good. Share it with your friends. Yeah, and as always, I appreciate the conversation. I love that you guys come in here and talk. I love that I see a lot of people that came through here that started by talking shit to me, and I talk shit to them, and they talk shit to chat. And that's why I tell my mods, Frosty and the rest of you guys, I tell all my mods, Frosty, I'll help you out. Let people talk. Let them talk, guys. You know, if they're trolling, ignore them, okay? Let me handle some of these people, but some of them I'm going to ignore and just let that shit happen. Let people see it. Find the people that can have good conversations with you and have conversations with those people. Don't let the other motherfuckers that are trolling you trigger you, okay? Like, don't fall for that shit. And, you know, if somebody says the wrong things, which apparently Frosty said at least one thing that he shouldn't have said, and you get yourself timed out by the mods, that's on you. Remember that shit. Fucking ride the line, mind the rules. There's not a lot of them, okay? It's fucking low bar to clear. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I love you to death. Thank you for everything you guys do for me. If you guys want to join the Discord's in the description. You can talk to Woke as he'll argue with everything. He Hurts will debunk your bullshit. Okay? That's FJB, all right? And yeah, until next time, we'll have the oh, I gotta find my button. I'm droning because I don't have a button. Bye, Nancy. Bye, Jeannie. Bye, Randy. Bye, Ichabod. Bye, FJB. Bye, Woke. Bye, Bucket. Bye, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.